whole fucking diseased, corrupt temple down on your head. It's gotta be biblical.
Your intro.
Hey everyone, welcome. We are here to do deep dives with Jason Q. Stu and I love Fridays because it's really just a free-for-all where we just talk about everything and interact with you guys in the chat. How you doing, Jason?
Good. How about you?
Doing great.
Very well. Yeah, great.
Yes.
You have been busy this week. Big shows.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's not even work, is it?
Not anymore. Just
No.
rehashing everything we talked about.
Yeah.
So we were talking off camera a little bit about this whole cult situation, if you will, and how all this child trafficking, it doesn't matter what the religion is and what the quote unquote belief system is. It's all this, they're all the same.
Yep. Unfortunately so.
So tell us, so you want to tell us more about this whole TP and...
Oh, we're not alleged anymore. I mean, I firmly believe that they are involved in massive child trafficking. All these religions are. Every single one of them. Especially the ones out west. The Calvary Church, all that. I mean, they literally bring pedophiles into the congregation and let them work with children. That's what they do.
That truth is going to put 99% of the people in the hospital.
Well, I mean, they told you be careful who you follow, right?
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh, Charlie's such a great guy. And I'm like, okay, but I don't personally know him. I mean, then when you start reading the background of him, it's like, well, wait a second. It's like, number one, how do you see a Jewish seer when he was young for him to say, oh, you're going to die young, but you're going to make a difference in the world? Then you take that, you couple it with 9/11, right? The 2 columns of smoke, a satanic Masonic Zionist agenda. To the 2 columns of smoke, it's all symbolic to the 2 columns of smoke are the second column in the third temple for which they will bring their king of the world. The problem is it's not a king of the world. They worship a woman. It's the mother goddess. So who is the mother goddess, right? You see Erica and Charlie, right? Charlie was younger than Erica, correct? So now you have Semiramis and Tammuz, right? So you crucify Tammuz, Charlie, everybody's venerating Erica, like all these other churches, Our Lady of, not one of them say Christ. It's all mother goddess worship. It's all just, they put this in here to actually screw us up. That's why religion has got to go. If we're going to move forward, all religions have to go. That's it. Because if we're all connected by the same source, why do we have division? Why do we have religion dividing us?
Yeah.
How do you think they're going to disseminate that out to the public?
Well, you just tell it how it is. Can't sugarcoat things anymore. I mean, we've been doing 8 years. It's like
It's news. Okay.
Yeah.
Like for lack of, this is news. This is what's happening. This is the current events.
Yeah.
And that's how it has to be. I mean, I got to tell you, and I mean to cut you off, but you reminded me when I'm in the gym, they have like all the, the television screens, and one has CNN and one has Fox and one has whatever. And I see every day, I'm seeing like, oh, this one arrested for, for having a child trafficking ring. It's not just like the local, pervert down the street. It's like organized. So they are priming with these smaller stories that don't necessarily affect anyone's belief system, right? It's just you could say, oh, it's some creep. People, it's now getting into the subconscious and the conscious mind that this is going on. And the only way to do it, it's not about ripping the Band-Aid off. It's just about moving into that as the next area of where we're finding this, right? Would you agree?
Yep. And the thing is, once it all gets exposed, I mean, once the Band-Aid's ripped off, that's it.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah.
See, so now I'm going to read something from Candace's show yesterday. Imagine my shock reading this from Tyler Boyer's X account, right? Well, Grok, whatever. We do have a team. We can only do as much as police on campus will allow, and also working with the police or private security in a given venue. Now, this is all quotes. I'll show it later. We run everything like a military op. All of our people are from that background.
And who's saying this?
Tyler Boyer. Tyler Boyer. So, post 1433, the military op is TPUSA. And when it says RR must be removed and all that, what if that's an SS? What if that's that Stacy Sheridan? Because she's a lizard handler too for Erica. Like this, I saw her eyes shift too. She's a goner. But there's, I mean, this is the thing too, is that if you've donated even $1 to TPUSA, you could file a class action lawsuit. Actually, we all can't because they're subsidized by the U.S. government. The funny thing about Arizona is it's unlimited. You could sue them for as much as you want. Word of the wise. Because, I mean, if they're not giving us the information on all this, and they're still operating as a 501c3 and 501c4, and they're having their 1,000 points of light involved, why was Charlie in Korea again? Why were they over there protesting the South Korean government from opening the books on the Unitarian Church? And then you look, why was BO and NK? All this. Well, because that's where they're running all the child trafficking. It's like, what? President Trump walking over the DMZ and everybody's like, oh my God. It's like, okay, but they came together a long time ago with the Unitarian Church for this deal with these child trafficking centers. So they're paying North Korea and all this. They're making all the vehicles. And they ship them out.
I
can't imagine that he's anywhere that the child trafficking is not going on.
Religion is the top one, I believe. The very top one.
Because that's where the trust factor comes.
Same with, remember who you're supposed to trust, right? Remember, it started with the priests and all that, but then it went to the teachers. Then you have the men teachers molesting the girls, and everybody's like, oh my God, fucking kill them. Then you have the women teachers molesting the boys, everybody's like, oh, it's like, no. Throw them in a wood chipper too. Remember, everybody's playing on the same field. And you think, it's like, why do they only get like a year or two? It's like, what is this? Why is it that if you get pulled over for pot in a state where it's not legal, you go to jail for longer than you would for molesting a kid?
Mm-hmm. Well, we just talked about the religions. How about law enforcement? And again, I know there's a lot of law enforcement people out there that risk their lives, do amazing things. So we're not talking about them. We're talking about the bad ones.
Did you know that Israel bragged about training 20,000 police officers a year? within the United States. Now think about the whole no eye laws. Think about all the. I mean, they were doing this a long time ago because that's what started the LA riots. I mean, literally, you militarized your law enforcement. So them saying, "Oh, he wants an insurrection," I put military. It's like, what's the difference now? I mean, we went through that whole thing in the 90s and 2000s with all the police brutality and all that. And, well, they're acting up now, even worse, but no head cracking. It's almost like they're letting it happen.
Didn't China have a lot of police stations? Didn't China have a lot of police stations set up over there as well?
Over where? Over
in the States?
No. You don't see no. Whoa. You can't have China, Russia, Iran. You can't have any of it. But then they bring the Muslims over because they want the Christians to fight the Muslims. So everybody thinks that they're scot-free. All the while, they're sitting calling us goyim, that, we're subhuman. And, I mean, fuck them. It's going to come down to it where, Charlie, the funny thing Charlie said about, they should all throw them on an island. That's exactly what Hitler said. Hitler just wanted to put them all on an island and have them guarded by the SS. Leave them alone, guys. Just leave them alone. But nope. The rabbinic ones are the worst. The absolute worst.
Well, but at this point, the way I see it, regardless of kind of like where it starts, it's infiltrated everything. So now you've got all religions that are just.
Oh, the Catholics. Oh, my God. When people find out about the whole Catholic Church, because
I know.
You start seeing, because they take one priest and they're like, well, this Archbishop, we're just going to move him.
They just move them.
They do it all silently. And then when all these sex abuse cases come up, nobody reports on them.
Well, let me just give you a little update on that. So if you saw the movie Spotlight, I think it was like Best Picture 2018, where they blew the cover in Boston. They did that. They had one priest and then another, and then they went into the records and they saw they're just moving them, right? So that all came out. However, when all that was said and done, at the end of that movie, they showed every single parish and how many priests were involved in this. Okay, so I live in New York and Long Island. Now, there's a very big, the center of the Long Island diocese is out here, and apparently I don't know because I didn't keep up with it, but they were like bankrupt. They were filing for bankruptcy because of all these cases, and I knew the judge who was assigned these cases to go against the diocese. So I gotta imagine that there's been a major cleanup quietly that's been happening over time, that they've been getting these guys, whatever the hell they're doing with them, and the money. It's more about the money, right? And then siphoning off the money through the lawsuits, right?
Yep. Just like 9/11, just like all of them, especially the Epstein ones. That blew my mind that there were actually more than 2 attorneys that were directly involved with what Epstein was doing that was representing the clients.
That was representing the clients.
The clients. The victims. They didn't know that those attorneys were directly tied to Epstein.
Aye.
And then the one at Pottinger, Stanley Pottinger, that he was shacked up with and everything, then you start seeing his kid, what his son and his son's doing. They're all in the NIH, COVID, everything like that. It's like, nah. They're not human. That's the thing. None of these people are human. You got Macron and his eye. That's why he's wearing glasses, because he had the same eye that the Queen and Prince Philip had, and
Well, that's what Trump was saying, right? Look at him with his blue glasses.
His beautiful glasses.
I tell you, he was an absolute legend over there. He bowled in. He was the only one that had a red carpet out. It looks like everyone over there capitulated. He basically walked in and gave the WEF a eulogy at a funeral, and he created a border peace, which is almost completely eradicated the United Nations. He won it.
Yep.
Magic.
And how he's asking these people if they want to be a part of it, right? So he asked the Pope, asked the Vatican. They said, "Well, think about it." It's like, that's quite the odd answer. You would think that the Pope would want world peace instantly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nope. They never did. Because they're the ones who want the souls. It's that deviant. I mean, it's beyond deviant now. They said these people are sick. These people are sick.
I remember during COVID when my kids were in high school and they were asking how many kids were getting the COVID vaccine, and they were keeping track and all this stuff. And I, of course, always having a fight with someone. So I said to the nurse, I said, well, first of all, it hasn't even been tested. Not that I had any intention of doing it. I said, it hasn't even been tested correctly. She goes, oh, no, because my kids went to Catholic school. She goes, oh, no, it's been endorsed by our Holy Father that it's okay. And I like my hand was like shaking to put the phone down because I said, I got to get off this freaking call now. But yeah. So basically all these people that are so religious, like they surrender their brain.
Yep.
They just surrender their brain and then they pass that on. You know what I mean? They pass on the stupidity and the evilness. They pass it on thinking they're doing the right thing.
So we could say the same thing about the Bible, right?
Yeah.
The Old Testament, right? Like, oh, you got to read this. Like, well, the God of that Bible is evil. So, I mean, this is all about Christ. Christ doesn't come about until the New Testament, guys. But then even that book was written by King James that wrote the demonology one first. So, where do you go with this?
I know.
You only call it Holy Bible. It's full of holes.
Yeah.
You'll see the Ethiopian Holy Bible. It says Ethiopian Bible. That's it. It's a book. Not the greatest story ever told. It's a fucking story. That's it. You start. Yeah. Moses went up on a mountain, came down with these tablets. What?
I know.
Come on.
It's hard. It's like, do you ever see the Mel Brooks movie, History of the World?
Yes, when he drives. I'm 15.
Yeah. I have 15.
10. Oh my God. But you know what? Those movies, they mocked religion, but they were spot on.
I know. Mel Brooks is hysterical.
Oh my God. Spaceballs. I mean, oh my, and Monty Python too. Oh my God. Oh.
I think we have a few questions. I just don't want the scroll to scroll too much. I know we had asked everybody.
Fire them out.
Yeah, they had questions. Put them in caps so we could see them. And of course, I just lost one. Let's see. One is. I just want to go back a little further because someone was asking about August.
What is Spain's issue with peace? Well, I've just seen a video. That was Simone put that in the chat. Spain have just declined to join the border peace, haven't they?
Well, of course. I mean, who runs Spain? The Bourbon Juan Carlos.
Yeah.
One of the Antichrists. Cute. Next. And the best part is that they're still out there. But Trump's back. They just arrest them all. You have them all one spot. I mean, literally, if anybody doesn't see the whole Roman side, Trump took 300 people with him to Davos. We've seen the movie 300. We didn't like the ending, but guess what? Everything changes.
This is Sparta. fuck around and find out.
Did you guys ever hear the rumor that I think it's William, Diana's son William, was really the father is really Juan Carlos?
Yeah.
See that?
Did you guys hear that? Okay, I wasn't sure if that was like something that was, yeah.
Oh, I mean, William's definitely evil. I mean, that whole lineage.
Interesting.
Oh, did you happen to see the one we showed yesterday about they took a 23andMe, right? The guy had a lizard, right? And he swiped the inside and sent it off.
Yeah.
Came back 53% Ashkenazi Jewish.
Are you kidding?
Brilliant.
Telling you, they're the seed of Cain. The whole bloodline. That whole the ones that say they're Jews but they're not, because they're not. There's no Ashkenaz. I mean, they're like, oh, it's a brother Ashkenaz. Yeah, okay. You're going back to the same 12 tribes under the evil Old Testament. I mean,
wow, that's crazy. Okay, August 12th, 2026. If the Earth is going to lose gravity for 7 seconds and the energy or frequency is coming from 2 black holes, who is doing it? Good guys or bad guys? I have not heard about this. Have you heard about this, Jason?
I've heard about it.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think now that they have Greenland, that's going to open everything up.
Okay.
I mean, that is like, I mean, we shouldn't even be worried about August by now. I mean, Easter, there's your set day. That's your D5. Regulus, the star, the Easter star coming over, Regulus coming over the Sphinx. Boom, that links up with Greenland. And then, because they had to have the timing, so when that comes up over, so the Regulus is the capstone, Greenland's the keystone, Red Castle, Green Castle probably being below, and then the castle lock that they got in. Because it's going to be 3 points. It'll be Regulus, Regulus, Greenland. And if I was a betting man, I'd say Moscow, Sergei Posad for our 13th Earth chakra. Boop. Makes a complete triangle. I wonder what kind of triangle makes out of flat Earth. Because that's the whole purpose. I mean, because he said that it's like once everything changes, that we stay affixed and the dome moves. It's like, what's up being like that the whole time? I mean, if you go to a planetarium, it's the same exact thing. We had one in our middle school, which was weird. I'm like, why do we have a planetarium here? But yeah, even the guy that did it was like creepy as fuck. I was like, this is weird. Because it's like, okay, well then, if we're spinning at all this, then why aren't we seeing like new stars or?
Right.
I mean, it's the same day in, day out for thousands of years, and we're traveling like 66,600 miles an hour, and then spinning. It sounds ignorant, is what it does.
It really does. This whole spinning thing.
Sitting on his axis at 66.6 degrees.
Yeah. I mean,
I heard the argument once. I'm not going to say who said it. I heard the argument once that it's similar to if you're on a plane, right? And you don't feel movement. I feel movement on a plane. Do you ever go, it starts moving a little bit, or you got to get up to go to the bathroom, you got to walk.
Yeah.
So wouldn't we feel something? I don't understand. How does the water stay on?
Yeah.
Gravity.
They say gravity, but then birds can fly. Birds can fly, but then you have, I mean, what is it? A gallon of water is what, 8 pounds or something like that? So think about trillions of gallons.
Yeah.
Gravity.
It just doesn't make, you're right. It's like, it reminds me of the new math, like 12 years ago, whenever they implemented that ridiculousness, like you literally was like putting your hand like around your face to pick your nose, like essentially the ridiculousness on the math that they were teaching these kids.
And not only did they do the math, but that's when they took the cursive out of schools too.
Yes.
Common Core took the cursive out.
Now they're trying to put that back in. Have you seen a lot of those things happening now?
Yeah, they should. In fact, we saw I think I still have the link where it's like for kids where you can actually learn to write cursive. It's like a book where you learn how to you trace the letters and all that, and then you write things out. It's like, I mean, it's sad that we have to go all the way back to that, but it's like, what the hell are these teachers doing? They can't do math. They can't read. They can't write in cursive. So what have you essentially done? You've done nothing but create a massive group of activists.
Mm-hmm.
But that goes back to the teachers. That goes back to the universities.
Yeah.
And what they're teaching. Let's see their books. Screw the high school books. Let's see that. Let's see the college books. Let's see what they're teaching. That's what we need to get a hold of.
Yeah.
Those boxes, some of those books. That'd be a good time.
Well, I think there's a connection between what you're saying and the fact that they're starting to defund these major universities. It's another takedown. They're using all these reasons, but I think we're going to see massive changes in the curriculum.
Beyond massive. You have to. I mean, if our kids are stupid, I mean, there's no reason for it.
Yeah.
Ooh, we gotta watch out too later.
Let's see. Thoughts on UK giving away Diego Garcia away. Anything to do with the massive dumb there? Simone.
Well, the thing is, UK really stepped out of their bounds by doing that, because I mean, we do have an active military site on Diego Garcia with lots of prisoners. So by them saying, "Oh, we're going to give it away to somebody else, and then they can release them," it's like, no, you just go right in the UK, right in the city of London, right? You just go in and just grab them all up. Say, you know what? We're done. We're done here. You go right to their House of Parliament. You grab every one of them up, all of them. Don't matter what side. Don't matter if you like them or not. Get rid of them. You have to. I mean, and then I think it was a drop today about UK and their freedom today. Today is a Friday, January 23rd, so we might see some big booms coming up.
Yeah, there's certainly a lot going on here at the moment. Keir Starmer is not, well, the more he does, the better I think it is, to be honest with you. People go, "Oh, what's Keir Starmer doing now?" Fucking excellent. He's waking you the fuck up, isn't he? He's Joe Biden. He is. We're a little bit behind you. We're in our pause period here. But I mean, Jay, what do you think of Farage, Rupert Lowe, these sort of like reform characters over here? Because they had a bit of a falling out. Obviously, we know the Conservatives and Labour are all the fucking masks on the same face. But Farage has been over there with Trump quite a bit, hasn't he? Few rallies and things. He got Brexit done, then he walked away. It was like Trump in the 2020 election walking away. It's all the same sort of thing, really.
Yep.
And loads of people over here don't trust Farage, but I'm not so sure.
And the thing is, too, with Farage, it's like, you know, he can give a lot of information. He knows a lot of inner work. I mean, yeah, the military does too, but you have people that are on the inside that can actually see what's going on. And that's the whole crazy part about that. But I did put a video in there. Remember we were talking about that Camp Kanakuk?
Yes.
And it's a clip. And after watching this one, I'm so fucking disgusted with religion right now. I mean, seriously, we need to go to all these fucking churches, drag every fucking pastor out, and just fucking lock them up. Every single one of them. And then you start going through them. You just do away with religion, period. Because you've got fucking... Everybody's wanting to bring the religion. Oh, it's a melting... No, it's not. This is not a melting pot. melting pots don't survive. You're destroying our culture by using religion. And then you have the Satanists that penetrated religion by ways of Paul Vallely and all the fucking mind wars and shit like that. Yeah. We can cut all that shit out right now, too.
Talk a bit more about Paul Vallely, will you? Because obviously, loads of people have had him on their shows. He did that video about Q, didn't he? The 4-minute video that everyone watched. But you don't speak very highly of him at all, do you?
Well, why is he on the TPUSA board?
Oh, that I didn't know.
I didn't know that either.
When I found that out, it switched everything. I mean, now I'd love to ask him that question.
Okay, wait. Let me just pose a possibility. What if he's a good guy and he's there for a reason? And they're putting him there to, you know, good guy plays bad guy kind of a sort of a thing.
Could
I mean,
be,
what we are.
I mean, this at the rate that TPUSA is child trafficking. I mean, there's no bounds. Like, watched this thing last night with Erica, and she's bragging about how she lived in China, Puerto Rico, and all this. It's like, wait, China, and then Chongqing, right? I'm like, wow, that's in the drops numerous times. It's almost as if they're directing us in the drops towards Erica. I mean, the mother goddess worship and all that, and you see her come up there, and then she goes to a TPUSA event on Wednesday, and she's all dressed down in just a simple, like a jogging suit. It's like, I mean, it's kind of funny that, you know, was it the Washington Post grilled her on, you know, what she's wearing, and she's like, it's none of anybody's business. Like, I mean,
but don't you think at this point she's just playing a role because she's saying things to be provocative as part of the script to get people to realize what we know and what we, you know, the research you've done, and that's how they're doing it.
Well, and the thing is too, see, lizards stay in that reptilian mindset. They don't move up the cerebral cortex, the limbic, or anything like that. They're chopped down to strictly fight or flight. That's it, aggressive. That's why they try to manipulate our minds, because once you get up to the, you know, your cerebral cortex and everything, you start realizing you have common sense.
You have reason.
Yeah, logic, everything like that. That's why emotions cloud judgment, because in your reptilian mindset, you're stuck in emotional. It's all emotions, fight or flight, nurture, nature, feeding, warmth. That's when you're a kid.
Mm-hmm.
That's why that's fucked up. They always molest them before they hit the limbic cycle, because then that actually retards they can't advance to the limbic, so they're stuck in reptilian. So when it's time to move from limbic to cerebral cortex, they can't, because they never passed the limbic stage. They're stuck in that. And that's why they have that dead look, like Rob Reiner's kid.
Right.
Just has that empty, like that, like nothing's there.
What
that is a sign of.
What age is that? The limbic stage?
Is it like 7?
7.
Yeah, right. Okay, I thought that about 6-7 years old, which is why they had the phrase "get them while they're young."
Yep.
Yeah, but they're not even getting, like, in the real satanic ritual cults, they don't even get them young. They start at conception.
Yeah. That's the thing. Abortion is literally child sacrifice.
Yes.
So
yes.
by people saying that, oh, abortion, you have a right to, no, whoa. Why did the Temple of Satan become in a partnership with Planned Parenthood in 2018?
Yeah. I mean, Laura Worley was telling us they start them when they're in the womb, don't they?
Yes.
You know, it's not. They don't wait till birth.
No, because they do all kinds of injections, and I don't need, you know, she was explaining all that. So, but here's the thing. When you say 2018, I just feel like.
Oh, that's when it was official.
Yeah.
When they put it out officially.
Yeah, we know that because we know partial abortion and all that stuff started with the Clintons, and, you know, where it was okay to kill a baby, and, you know,
with Margaret Sanger. I mean,
well, no, I mean, Right, but then it went down that slippery slope where it was like, well, it could be 9 months, and isn't that clearly murder at this point? Because the big argument was always it can't survive outside the womb, so it's not viable. That's the word you always hear. Well, 7, 8 months, 8, 9 months, it can survive. So now that's murder. That's no longer termination. Do you know? I mean,
yeah, or how do they call it? A women's reproductive rights.
Right.
Well, you're not reproducing. So what rights do you have? I mean, you're literally getting knocked up in order to kill your child.
And look, there's a lot of people that they don't plan it, and I understand. But I have to tell you, like, most people that I know or children's, that have gotten pregnant, okay, it wasn't planned. Nobody's really happy. It puts a whole change in the way you're going to do things. But I got to tell you, they either kept it, and then people who don't, okay, you got to go through the pregnancy. Maybe that's not fun, but millions of people want to adopt babies. People all over the place, especially now with all the infertility, they'll take a baby like that.
And that's why in Trump's adoption month 2025, look through that, and it's like, if it's all about the break, you look down, it's like, why is there a 2.5 line break, and then it goes 17th month of September? Hold the fuck up. Hold up.
Wait, say that again.
Hold up. Wait a second. Wait, this motherfucker. Hold on. I think figure something out. Presidential actions. Boom, boom, boom. Hey.
You absolutely dread to think how many babies, young, infants they've taken out of fucking mothers as abortions and kept them alive.
Think about that. But it's really upsetting. I lived in a very affluent community when I was married, and I can't tell you how many people, now those people aren't going to Planned Parenthood. Okay, they're going to private doctors and having the procedure done. And I can't tell you how many women I knew that would say, oh, we fucked up this month, and they would just go get an abortion. They used it like birth control. I don't know how you live with yourself. I understand that you go through something if you're not planning, another child. Like it's not easy, and sometimes that happens. But
no,
I don't get that. I don't get like multiple abortions and
cut out their uterus at that point. If you're just doing this,
go get right. Just go and have your tubes tied or something. If you're not planning, like if you're not going to welcome a new life, I get it. You don't have any more kids, then.
I mean, honestly, if you're on any kind of government assistance, and you're a single mom, you should automatically have your tubes tied. That's it. You don't need any more kids. It seems that you can't. Because all they do is go get knocked up. They have 5, 6, 7, 8 kids that we're supporting.
I know, but that's one side. I agree. The other side are the wealthy, upper middle class. Like they're not like billionaires and everything. They're like upper middle class. They're the one. They have just as many. You just don't hear about the abortions.
Well, because they don't have abortions, because the upper middle class, they're trying to continue on their dynasties. Right, like the Mormons, they have like, 40, 50 kids and all that? It's like, you don't think they're practicing they're not torquing this up for an invasion within? I mean.
Right.
And the thing is that it's proof that if TPUSA is a Mormon-run company, right? So the Mormons are using religion, the Christian religion, to lure as many people into believing in Israel and shit like that. And especially after the Baron Coleman one that they're having at these universities, they're having these VR headsets that you watch. So you could see what it was like during 10/7. It's like, what? We can't even get an official account of what happened on October 7th. And you guys are coming up with VR to literally brainwash these people, and you're doing this and you're doing this through an intermediary through Germany so that you don't get caught. because we have all the stuff with the NSA, with the CS, Central Security System, Central Security Service, where they were not allowed to spy on any Americans. Well, when you have geofencing and it all goes to Israel, that literally is spying. So when they say, well, why is the FBI going after Catholics in churches? Well, then we need to ask ourselves, why are they going after all the Christians that are going to church that firmly believe they're going to a house of worship and the Lord, not realizing that they're actually getting preached to by Satan? That's why I believe Paul Galilee is deep in this shit, because you had he was a Satanist, Aquino, the whole mind war and psyops. Well, then here you go. So what if the first arrest is Charlie Kirk? That would be funny. Or Erica.
Well, both of them.
Because there's something with this that,
yeah,
I mean, he could easily fake his death. They cash in all the money. He disappears. Here comes Erica moving on up. I mean, it could go either way at this point. But all I know is after reading the deposition and all that and digging all that, Charlie was an evil motherfucker. And I saw his eyes switch too. Because if he's going to Liberty University and he's having his name put on the Falkirk Center, and you think about all the shit that Falwells have been into and all the trafficking and all the sex abuse with all these universities, it's like, you didn't go to Liberty University. You didn't even graduate from a university. You're no different than Bill Gates and Bezos that started this shit out of the garage, had a bunch of big funders, and then here they come. But Charlie always had an opinion on everything except Freemasons. Why? I mean, Erica wears the fucking Eastern Star thing out there. Was he a Mason? I mean, if you're getting that kind of money and that kind of press, you're tied in somewhere. And what degree? Because, I mean, if you're bumping elbows with the president, number one, you shouldn't have been around him in the first place. What does TPUSA do? Nothing. They literally, it all goes to, faith and no. Whoa. We've had it with this shit. 1,000 Points of Light, all that shit with George H.W. Bush, the Heritage Foundation, because the Heritage Foundation is what spawned TPUSA, all through the Mormons. Because the Heritage Foundation wants everything run Mormon style. That's why some of it I can agree with, but a lot of it I'm like, yeah, these guys can really pound sand. Who are these guys? But then when you start digging into Mormons, it's like, whoa. And I thought Judaism was fucked up. What? I mean, and they buy all this land that they could do whatever they want. They police it all, and it's like, well, and the church owns all the houses. These people don't own anything. They don't even own their kids. The church owns all their children.
Explain that. How does that work? Like, how does
the apostles at the top, right? They dictate to you where your kid goes, missions, everything like that, and they start sending these kids over to areas like Russia, and there's nobody watching them.
What is it, a mission? It's like a mission? Is that what they say? Okay.
Yeah. But then it's like, well, and they're like, we're over here spreading the word of, Jesus Christ. It's like, wait. I mean, everybody ridiculed Scientology on the same thing. Mormonism is even worse. It's literally, I mean, the CIA and the World Jewish Congress, they infiltrated Scientology and turned it what it is today. Because they took all of L. Ron Hubbard's stuff about the whole auditing and everything like that, the brain stuff, because that would have been good for us and bad for them if we'd have found a way to wake up. So they said, nah, we're just going to keep all this suppressed. We're going to make a mockery out of Scientology, bring all these actors in, everything like that, make it a big sex cult. Par for the course. But I think what Trump is doing right now, he is literally pulling the ultimate state move. Because who helped them get Greenland? Ronald Lauder. Out of all fucking people. the head of the World Jewish Congress, that fucking slippery shit, because he's like, oh yeah, Pax Judaica, because he lined up all the stuff. It's like, oh, Palantir, get them all in here, bring them in, declass everything, then everybody's fucked. Because, hey, you can't blame Trump at this point if the military brings all the cases.
Yeah.
So, hey, it's all plausible deniability, but we know through Q, it's all part of the plan.
POTUS is well insulated.
Drops 4 and 6. We told you that right at the start. This is why he's bringing in Larry Ellison. This is why he's bringing in Sam Altman. Altman.
Yeah, the same one that was molesting his sister. It never ends. It's almost as if that's their rite of passage in order to get to this big filthy show. But it's like, we don't even want this movie anymore. Nobody does. That's the best part about it. It's like, I mean, they talk about cults. It's like Bishop cult. It's like, okay, that Vaughn Bishop. It's like, was Vaughn Bishop a Mormon? Probably. He's going to the CIA. Bishop cult. I mean, the Mormons have tons of bishops, and they have prophets. I'm not a prophet. You're not a prophet. We're not prophets focused on the mission. And Utah's in kill boxes with Huber and all that. It's like, why couldn't Huber interview certain people? Why couldn't Sessions interview certain people? Because they couldn't let out of the bag that they're going out of. The head of the Mormons and the Jews. They're going to, both of them. The mega group and the Hasidic shit and everything like that. Because the thing is, there's a lot of Jews that they don't like Israel or anything like that. They're like, this, like they're not, like, it's down the whole maternal bloodline. That's where you get your devotion, all that. I mean, it's weird. It really is.
Do you think 629,000 sealed indictments is enough?
Well, if every indictment can hold 99 people, I mean, that's quite a lot of people.
60 million, yeah.
That's a lot of people.
That is a lot of people.
But that's almost teetering to the point where it's a problem. It's a big problem.
Yeah.
And I mean, some of these things are coming out, and it's especially on LBJ. Learning a lot about him and his sister, Golda Meir.
That's his sister?
They look identical. Remember, they all change their names. You look
yeah, I know that. I just that I never heard. That was the first.
LBJ. I mean, he was
disgusting on many.
He was the worst.
Accounts. Like they have accounts. This is just getting like just gross. Not about the bigger things. But they said his aides or anybody that worked with him, if he was talking to you, he would just go into the bathroom while he was standing there and just do his business. Like, I'm not talking number one either. Like, he had no sense of any propriety whatsoever on that interpersonal. And then, of course, we know what he was all about on a larger scale. He was just gross.
It was almost like he was just like Biden, whipping his dick out to anybody. It's like Biden did it numerous times to Secret Service agents. They complained about it.
Really?
Yeah. When he was vice president?
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. That's why we need the Secret Service to come in, and they need to put a RICO case against the Secret Service, because what a RICO case does not prevent are NDAs being active. A RICO case eliminates all NDAs because it eliminates all of anything that's hidden. It brings transparency to everything. So if you put the whole Democratic Party under one big RICO, it unleashes all of the NDAs. When does the bird sing? When you lift the NDAs. I mean, and it's not just a fluke that there were over 1,000 bald eagles in Kansas City, Missouri just a couple days ago.
Yeah,
that's not weird. trust Kansas, right? It's like 1,000, huh? So that 1,000 bald eagles would be the antithesis to 1,000 points of light. They lose. Good times. But yeah, if you want to show that video,
John Ryan, yeah.
That I am just. This is why the whole NDA thing is so massive. I have never heard Sean Ryan say "fuck" so many times in one 4-hour clip than he has in this one. And I even left. I mean, I was screaming it. I'm like, there's not many things that just. But this is one of them. This is the one. If you're going after kids in any way, shape, or form, and it still just keeps on going and you're pushing it, nope. So yeah, you want to play it?
Right, this is 10 minutes long, people.
Yep.
The family's attorney wanted them to sign the NDA.
Yeah, they all do.
That they'll never talk about how their kid was.
Yeah, and what's even sicker is that
By a church. Who the is that attorney?
it's all of them.
All of them?
This is standard practice in personal injury law.
Who the are these people? These are kids.
Kanakuk's lawyers are so brutal. They would gaslight these victims, saying things like, "Are you sure you're not just depressed and struggling because your parents have a bad marriage? Are you sure it just wasn't an early homosexual experience and you're gay?" They're like, "No, pretty sure it was the child rape, so I'm not doing great." They would try to pin it on anything but Kanakuk's negligence and Pete Newman as the reason for the civil litigation. So then they put him under an NDA, and I just saw that NDA for the first time after we passed Trey's law in Texas in September.
When? Oh man, dude.
2025.
So
and now I know why they were so scared.
NDA'd him after the abuse?
All of these victims, yeah. Except one family refused to sign the NDA. Kanakuk came after them, federally sanctioned them because they refused to sign the NDA.
What do you mean federally sanctioned? What does that even mean?
That means that their case was filed in Texas, Kanakuk's in Missouri, right? So at that point, like even though the case was filed in Texas, it got pulled to a different jurisdiction, and the case was federal. So then the judge ruled in that court that the case was closed, the settlement agreement had been signed, they can't come back for more now and add an NDA in there. But they had every intent of forcing that family to sign an NDA. And that family did not. They're the Alarcons. It's been public since then. Ashton Alarcon, he calls me sis. We're really close. He serves our country. He's in Japan right now. Amazing kid. Now man. Just got married. And he told his dad, "I want to be able to tell my story one day." And so they had to fight. Even their own lawyer was pushing this NDA on them. It's standard practice. And we can get into all that because that's like how I...
Their own lawyer?
Yeah, it's very common.
The family's attorney wanted them to sign the fucking NDA?
Yeah, they all do.
That they'll never talk about how their kid was fucking sexually molested and raped?
Yeah, and what's even sicker is that...
By a fucking church?
Yeah. Oh, and to that point...
Who the fuck is that attorney?
It's all of them.
All of them?
This is standard practice in personal injury law. Now,
Who the fuck are these people? These are fucking kids.
These are kids. Kids should never be put under a contract. They can't consent to contracts as minors.
So, hold on. Just let me replay this. So this fucker, Pete Newman, gets arrested.
Yeah.
Then more of these people start falling. Then they reach out to all the victims and they fucking try to make it sound like it was some other event that fucked them up in the head.
Mm-hmm.
And then they fucking convince them to sign an NDA saying that they'll never talk about how Pete Newman or anybody else at Camp Kanakuk was playing with their fucking penis or their vagina or shoving shit up their asshole or fucking dancing with them naked or playing basketball with them naked or fucking putting them in Chinese massage parlors to give them an erection so they can fucking film it. And the defense attorney is having their fucking client sign this shit.
Thanks for saying that so I didn't have to.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Where's the fucking FBI?
Where's the FBI?
Oh, the FBI's doing what they always do.
Yeah.
Abso-fucking-lutely nothing.
We can circle back to that. They entered the chat a couple years back.
Of course they're always fucking late to the party.
Yeah. 12 years too late, but so yeah, that's exactly right. So I've spent a lot of time now educating plaintiffs' attorneys on why they shouldn't silence their own clients, but that's how widely accepted. This is considered a best practice. You settle, you sign an NDA, and everyone moves on. Well, guess who doesn't move on? The kid who cannot heal because they have been legally silenced by a Christian.
The kid who's having dreams every night of Pete fucking Newman jacking them off.
Or Lee Bradbury, or Corby Dale Grimes, or Chuck Price, or Paul Green, or Paul Kerr, or the list goes on and on. There's some of these guys were abused twice, once by Pete Newman and then again by another one.
And this shit is legal? This shit is legal? You can... How the fuck can a kid sign a document anyways? What?
So there's an active fraud lawsuit with the plaintiff who's a kid in Hendersonville, Tennessee, just down the road here. And his parent, he was 17 when he settled. His parents as the guardians signed the settlement agreement. They own an Ace Hardware store. Like, they're not sophisticated on legal nuance, right? So these NDAs, they get snuck in at the midnight hour. It's under the guise of a confidentiality clause. And you're thinking, well, I want this to be confidential because we don't want to talk about it. And the kid doesn't really know what he's signing. He's not even signing it. It's his parents. So this victim was told he would have to sue his parents to get out of the NDA. And so...
Well, what? Never mind. I want to say, what judge, what attorney is going to prosecute a fucking human being for talking about how they were sexually molested and fucking raped as a child? But this is the world we live in. There's lots of attorneys that would love to do that.
I started talking about it, and
there's people that are standing up and trying to call these people minor attractive persons.
Don't get me started.
Minor attractive persons. Well, let's not fuck with them. They're a protected class. They are. It's not funny. It's fucking real.
I laugh because it's so ridiculous. It's just yeah. So
you know what's fucking crazy? How many people are in DC? How many Americans are there? 340 million Americans. There's 200 people running the fucking show. Do the math.
And where are their priorities?
We fucking know where their priorities are. You see any Epstein files yet?
Exactly.
Me neither.
I connected with Nick Bryant a while back I was trying to figure out if the Kanakuk network connected to what he'd uncovered. And he wanted to have me on his podcast. At that point, I was too scared. I was getting crinshawed by Kanakuk. They would send me cease and desist letters, demand letters.
Getting what?
Crinshawed.
Oh, reference to my situation. Yeah. That didn't
Cease and desist letters. It didn't work on me either. I took them to the press. And yeah, I have it here too. I framed it. This is what Kanakuk's lawyers sent me. I'm not under an NDA. My dead brother is under an NDA. And this is what, so I set up No More Victims after getting into this Operation Millstone. And No More Victims started putting together a website called Facts About Kanakuk. And we got the deposition tapes from the John Doe 1 case because I was the only one not under NDA. And we put all this information up on factsaboutkanakuk.com. We have receipts on all of it. And then Kanakuk immediately, they don't like it. They send this letter. And it's laughable because, first of all, they think I'm a law firm. And they threatened to disbar me in the state of Pennsylvania for this website that's soliciting clients. I'm like, nope, just
defamation.
Yeah. just trying to get the truth out to the public so kids stop getting raped on your watch.
Where do I read?
Oh, if you want to look at like their 12 points of what they want.
Where's the threat?
Behind that title page there, it's like 12 things they want taken off the website. One of them is that you called Joe White's father Skip White. His name is Spike White. And my attorneys are like, well, that's not defamation. That's called a typo. They also had a correction in there. Corby Dale Grimes isn't in prison in Florida. He's in prison in Texas. And we're like, thanks for that. We were trying to run down where he was in prison, like just stupid things that they wanted corrected. So I sent this to the media and they published it. And
do you mind if we scan this and put it up?
All yours.
We'll have everybody download it.
It's public.
This is Camp Kanakuk trying to silence Elizabeth so that the word doesn't get out that they're a bunch of pedos sexually abusing.
So that was the first one.
No matter where you're watching Sean Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts.
We have a nice calm flight. I think
That's the
Yeah,
best thing for Sean Ryan.
Man, that's the tame one. I mean, this gets dark.
Did you say that podcast was 4 hours long?
Yes. It just came out this week.
Jason, the girl that was on the show.
Yeah.
Who is she specifically?
Her brother. Yeah, her brother was one of the ones that got molested that offed himself to sign an NDA.
Oh.
But he told her everything. So once he died, the NDA died with him. It didn't die with her.
Got it. Okay.
No, it died with him.
Right.
So
it was null and void and gone. Right.
But how many people are under NDAs for this?
Yeah, but
So
and the parents see if you're under 18, you have no legal standing. So that means these parents are signing the NDAs on behalf of their minor children.
So you lock the parents up. Oh my God, they go back year after year after year. They keep on sending them back. It is just, and it's still fucking open. And that's one camp. How many summer camps do they have in the nation? You think it's like, oh yeah, you're going to summer camp. When did it get twisted? It wasn't twisted when we were kids. But then again, my mom and dad were smart. They're like, no, you're not going to a summer camp. What the fuck you think we're doing? No. Sending a bunch of fucking strangers that can fucking do shit. Nope.
We went to Camp Mom. My mom she wanted to kill herself by the end of the summer, but.
And guess what? Next summer comes around, Mom.
I never went to some, we go sometimes to day camps. They had little things going on. I didn't, but I think my sister did. But if we wouldn't even if some of the kids that would go to summer camp, we used to get threatened with that. If my mother and father were trying to get us to do something, if you don't behave, we're going to send you to summer camp. We're like, no.
Yeah, no, whoa. No. Oh.
That's quite funny, really, because a lot of the parents over here, it's not summer camp here, but they just dread the summer holidays when their kids are home for 6 weeks.
6, it's more like 10, right? 2 months and a couple of weeks. But, then there's a whole faction of people. We joke, the kid gets off the bus from school, last day of school, and then they get on the bus for summer camp for the whole 8 weeks. And it's a whole culture of getting the trunk and packing and, oh yeah.
Parents all right.
I'm sorry. I don't know if there's anybody out there who does this. I apologize in advance. Who the fuck sends a 6 or 7-year-old away for an entire summer? What the? You can't be a parent? I don't get it. Sorry.
No. What is that fucking thing you just sent me there, Jay?
Oh man, Lisa, you gotta see that article.
What's this?
Holy shit! Did they have to say penal code? Really?
The same.
He's
What the? Yeah.
Do you want me to play that video?
Oh no. Oh, no.
Oh, good.
I think
There's a video with this?
there's like a 30-second. You can play it if you want, but
Just play. Let's have a good laugh.
yeah.
Hold up, that's buffering a minute.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's playing an advert
Yeah.
before that.
I mean,
This is when they took him out of the sub.
no, that's not when they took him out of the subway. No, that was in Minneapolis, right there.
Oh, that was Minneapolis. Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's not playing that. That's probably a good thing, really.
Yeah.
You know, the writer, whoever the writer was of that story, must have had a field day writing the headline.
Can you imagine? And then I think the cop's like, oh, he's not breaking any law. It's like,
No, but I can tell you, just knowing New York City cops, they were probably ready to just throw this guy off a building, but they have to follow all these ridiculous fucking rules. So they have to say it like that. He wasn't breaking the code. And I guarantee you, they were disgusted and wanted to beat the shit out of this asshole.
it's like a penal code. It's like, you have kids riding the fucking subway too.
It's
You have women. It's like,
I know.
take that, whoever that was, take them, lock them away for life. You got to round them all up and put them in massive camps, re-education camps, like they were going to do to us. Because I mean, you cannot have any of these. But maybe the whole Greenland thing, maybe that breaks the whole spell too.
I hope so.
Because I think a lot of these people, they're just under a bad hypnotic spell.
I agree with you with that. There's something just has gone awry.
Can you tell me what an Upper East Side Q train is?
It's the Q train, like all the trains. No, that like we have the A, we have the B, we have and the Q. It's just been like that. I don't think that has any.
They probably ran out of colors because in Chicago it's like red line, blue line, orange line,
Yeah.
brown line, all that. But it's like when you have New York and the subway system.
I think.
Yeah, it's like I
Brooklyn.
have to catch the light fuchsia train. It's like not the purple one, the light fuchsia. Like, what's the difference? Like this one takes me east. I mean, and then who built all the subway system? I mean, everything. It's like everything's one big lie.
I know.
Which we're all right now. It's like now we're finding the truth, and that's what we got to do. It's just one thing after another. But this Romania thing, we're not like because Romania ties to Transylvania, and also there's an evil forest. Like there's like the devil's forest in Romania. And also in Romania, Bucharest and all that, that's where they have the Buseci Mountains and all that. It's all evil. It's like, why is everybody going to Romania? I mean, that's the whole thing. It's like, and then you look at the, all the resorts that they have near that military base.
In Romania?
Right? Yeah. And they're all named like after planets. Venus, Jupiter, Saturn. And the Saturn one, I'm like, it looks like it's all boarded up, but like, yeah, it's a fabulous resort. It's like, this isn't a resort. What is this? What are you guys doing here? It's right by the airport. The airport is where the military base is. It's right on the shores and everything. I'm like, what is going on here? I mean, this is.
I think they definitely want us to look at that, right?
Yeah. It just. Oh, I was going to ask you about that Spotlight movie.
Yeah.
Did it come out in the Did it come out in the movies or did it come
won
out?
an Oscar. You know, it was, meaning it was pretty prominent. Yeah, it's with Michael Keaton.
It's about a newsroom, isn't it? A load of reporters.
Yeah, they have like, it's just a little segment, like a segment of the Boston Globe, I think it was. And what happened is a lot of the people that work in this area, like they were Catholic, you know, a lot of them were like Irish Catholic. They were but they get this, he wasn't Catholic, but he came from out of the area. Liev Schreiber plays him, and he wants to push this investigation. And so they do, and they show you all the politics and everything. But the key to this movie was that it like you see the lawyer who was defending these kids, who literally wants to like throw up, you know, but he just is doing this work. And you see that they discover that these priests are never rehabilitated or dealt with or taken out of they're moved around. So it became that was the spark. That Spotlight means the section of the newspaper. It was like their column. And you see that was the spark, because after like they finally get to put this whole story out, they had to really make sure they had everything in place because they didn't want to get sued, you know. Then the phones start ringing off the hook, all the people. So they show at the end of the movie, I mean, you know, obviously it's a spoiler, but you know what, you know, it's still worth watching. I would say all the places all around the country that ended up getting implicated, like it completely dominoed. Started in Boston and Chicago, like it went all over.
All the dioceses, all the
yeah, it was really, I thought it was very well, you know what I mean? I thought it was they did it seemingly very well done, although I didn't know anything specific about that case. I knew about it, but I didn't know enough to critique it. Let me put it that way. But it was good.
Yeah. And then I included another video about a Bethel church cult scandal. It's like, what? Now is when the whole religion is coming to light. Now people are going to be like, okay, because you're not hearing any of this on the news, because the churches are, I mean, everybody's going to shut it down. And what really pissed me off about the last one is that they rape you and then they make you sign an NDA. And then, not to mention, if you have kids signing NDAs, it's just like anything else, right? Well, if a kid can sign an NDA, then they're adult enough. There you go. That they have to find an angle to get the kids to drop the age of consent down, because you know, what's his name? Alan Dershowitz wanted to lower it to 12 too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just.
And, you know, you got to wonder about Alan Dershowitz. I actually thought, no, like, I'll tell you what I'm leading to. I actually thought he was a bad guy, right? Because he's supposedly on the Epstein list and all this other nonsense. And then I'm thinking he's gone, so to speak. And what we're seeing is not him. But then I know someone, I can't give names, who just hired him for a very big case. So what's the deal? Is he just playing ball? Is it a clone? Is he like?
Oh, he's still here.
He's got to be under control, don't you think? At this point,
they're letting them run rampant.
Are they?
They're letting them run so rampant that that's why sometimes you gotta show people.
Yeah,
you have to show people that they want to pull this Pax Judaica, and then you start thinking about, well, if they have all the surveillance, when the surveillance all start after 9/11? Okay, well then, why is it that it always benefited Israel after 9/11, not us? Why was the Department of Homeland Security even created? What homeland are they securing? Not ours, theirs. Yeah, that's all this is. That's why they say everything's matters of national security. Matters of national security. It's like, it's even in the drops, like in bold. It's like that's not what initially. It was just to for anything that had to do with the defense of America, off limits. But under national security, you're protecting names, you're protecting countries. It's like, why are we protecting them? It's like, because they're all involved.
Didn't it say in the Q drops, thank you, Alan, welcome aboard?
It wasn't. It's not that Alan. It's that Alan.
I've heard people mention
that Falconer
guy
that was over in Iran.
Okay.
That knew Bin Laden and all that. That knows Bin Laden's still alive. That guy.
But I thought he was
Tim Osman.
Tim Osman, and he was an operative, and it's just all a big fucking fake anyway of who he is.
What if they arrest him?
Oh, well, yeah.
that throws the whole ditch in the body at sea, everything like that. He can come out and come clean and point, and he could point out Obama. Obama was in Pakistan, Afghanistan during the 80s.
Right, 84, wasn't it? When it was on the no-fly zone?
Yep.
What if they arrest Bin Laden, give him a live shave and haircut on TV, and it is Obama?
And the thing is that if you track it, so Obama's mom and Peter Stokes Sr. were in Iran to overthrow the Shah. Then they left there. Then they went to Afghanistan and Pakistan, started that shit with the Soviets. It's like all under Zbigniew Brzezinski and Henry Kissinger. You have to keep terrorism alive. Terrorism sells. Because how else is the the whole military-industrial complex going to make their money? There's no money in peace, right?
Right.
Now you see why everybody's shitting bricks? BRICS. And silver over 100. That's a good thing. Yeah, this is...
Right, Joe, you also sent me that link as well.
National Adoption Month, right? It's all about the break, right? Proclamation, scroll all the way down to the bottom. I've looked at all proclamations, all of it. None of them have a break like this. It's all about the break. It's this 17th day of November. It's like he's telling us what day is day one. If it's all about the Children Adoption Month, National Adoption Month, inverted, it's MAD, M-A-D, 17th day of November. Nowhere else, even when you print it, it leaves a gap. And isn't there a gap like this in a drop? Like there's a massive, like there's 2.5 lines missing out of a drop too. So is this what they're, I mean, he's giving us tips everywhere, but this is the one that I just can't put my finger on.
Yeah, that is strange.
That space, that again, gap or space between where it should, the sentence is broken.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even when you print it up, it's the same thing. I mean, you look at any other, you can pull up any other one, and it all runs fluent except.
No, this is absolutely intentional, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I actually wonder how many, if you type letters in now, how many spaces that would make before it starts again.
That's a really good point.
Shit. I can figure that out.
So count from 17 to the end of right? And maybe that'll give you a rough idea. Maybe it goes a little, I'm looking if any sentences, the sentence all the way above where it ends with and goes a little further. So there's more, like, you know what I'm saying? There's more space.
Yeah. I can count all them a bit later, no doubt.
I thought that was just so weird. I'm like,
yes.
Why? I mean, every other one is just that one. No, there's something with this one. That's what. 6.
I'm going to count that in a minute.
Okay.
Well, I reckon it's probably
the one above it has one more like line, like one more, the one that says end. Whoops. Because you got to add one too, because it goes even further than this.
Yeah, we just take that line now.
I encourage all Americans.
And that whole line there. That line and that line will take you to there and fill that line up. I'll count those in a sec. Right, I can stay there. Right, shall we play this?
Yes.
Yeah. Note the time, 7:17.
By the way, where is Bethel Church? Is that a
They're
specific?
all over. They have a Bethel church up here.
Oh, really?
Like, this is one of those that's under the whole grouping of the whole Unitarian cult.
Oh my God.
It's
Right.
I don't know.
Let's
Like, you
play
know what
this.
I don't get? I just want to say something.
Yeah.
All these people that have to start churches and you have to give, why can't you just say, if anybody wants to fucking get together and pray, we're gonna go pray. If we get in someone's house, and if it gets too big, everybody chip in fucking $10 a month or whatever the hell it is to pay for a public place that we could go. Period. End of story. You bring some muffins, I'll bring a cake, whatever.
Yep. Or just keep like small groups. I mean,
Or small groups
know,
that you just
and the
get
thing is,
together and pray.
we're at technically every podcast that all of us do. It's a church.
Exactly.
We're all gathering together and we're talking about common things. We're talking about things biblical. We're talking about like things that actually make a difference in our lives.
Right. Right.
Right, that is about, give or take, 126 characters there. So you could go up and down a couple probably, but that's roughly the space. So I don't know how that equates to any of the Q drops or anything, but
120.
all right. So shall I play this?
Yep.
Sweet. It's 7 minutes and 17 seconds long as well.
Yep.
18 years old, called Bethel School of Supernatural Ministry. And while I was there, I ended up getting conned. And I married a man who was 10 years older than me, all because a prophet said that God was giving me to him. And he had gotten all of my information off of Facebook. He had said some details about me from the stage so that I would truly believe that this was God. And due to this word, my ex almost took my life, and I felt like I couldn't leave because of this word. And I've talked about it a bit before, but the reason it's really heavy on my heart this week is a YouTuber decided that he was going to do kind of like a breakdown and trying to shed light about the cover-up culture going on at Bethel, because they knew that he was a con and also that he had been abusing his staff. And they still chose to not warn anybody about what this man was doing. So I really just wanted to trauma dump on you guys and process the whole situation because it has been a lot. So for those of you who are not familiar with Bethel, they are a church based out in Redding, California, and they are very popular due to their worship music. So you might have actually heard Bethel music at your church or on the radio, and a lot of people don't know some of their crazier beliefs. And when I went out there, I did know that they leaned charismatic, but I truly didn't know how far it was going to go. Their whole mission is to bring heaven to earth. So they are all about signs, wonders, healing, prophetic words, raising people from the dead. They believe that anything is possible and that it is always God's will to heal. So I went and did their school for a few years. I did 2 years out in Redding, and then my third year was out in Pennsylvania, where I interned for Georgian and Winnie Vanoff. And I thought that this was going to be a great internship. These are some pretty high up names in the charismatic circle, and they are supposed to be more lighthearted and fun. And that is where I ended up meeting my ex and where the whole Sean Bowles thing happened. So long story short, I started to date my ex, who I am going to call Ted. And if you've seen my other videos about getting divorced because of a Walt Disney World burger, this is the same guy, and that incident did lead to our divorce. And divorcing him was honestly like one of the scariest things I had ever done, because I truly thought that this was God's will for my life. And I'm going to play you a clip of this prophetic word. I was at work at the time. I wasn't in the auditorium when this happened, but we had only been dating for 2 months at this point. So he was in the auditorium, and he had actually met this prophet, Sean Bowles, the day before. So we know now that he went home, looked up my ex, saw my name, saw where I worked on our Facebook because our relationship was on Facebook. And he went up on stage and pretended like he had no idea and that this was all from God. So I'm going to play that clip now.
When you handed me the phone last night, I saw 50, but I know that 50 is Jubilee year, and there's something about God's giving you a Jubilee. What does that mean to you? Oh, your girlfriend's name is Jubilee. That's awesome. Well, God's giving you this girl. And when we ordered the food this morning, by the way, this is a huge advertisement in the midst of prophesying, and it's a prophetic advertisement that Tomato Pie Cafe place is like level 10 awesome. And we've been eating there for the mornings, and it's like they've been bringing us food kindly enough, and they're amazing. But does she have something to do with the Tomato Pie Cafe? Does she works there? Okay. Jubilee from Tomato Pie Cafe.
I actually just remembered that we had only been dating 1 month at this point because he proposed at 2 months. So I felt like this was confirmation from God. There was a lot of pressure from our church because he was one of the most respected prophets. Bethel was constantly platforming him. They were doing the forwards for his books. And I had no reason to think that this guy was a con. I mean, I didn't even know that that was something that people were doing. But we have found out recently, it has been coming out more, that a lot of these prophets would look up the registration for the conferences, and they would just look all these people up, and they would, from the stage, call out people's addresses, phone numbers, screen usernames, and they would say that this was from God. And if you were called out, it felt like you had won the lottery, that God saw you. So when we got this word, it felt just absolute confirmation that this is what we should be doing. And it has been very hard the last few years to process how much Bethel knew at this time and later on, as well as the school that I was working for, which was called Global Celebration School of Supernatural Ministry. It was kind of like a sister school. I ended up finding out that my ex had tried to sexually assault his ex-girlfriend the month before we got together, and she had gone to leadership. And I can't say for sure that Georgine and Winnie Banov knew about that, but I do know that people who were related and who were head leadership at the school did know about that. So his ex went to them, said that this happened, and they didn't believe her. And because he was just so well respected, everybody loved him. He was kind of the all-star student at the school. And they demoted her in the ministry. And then a month later, he starts to date me, a girl who is 10 years younger than him. And I found out that he was going around and saying that I was his Disney princess, which makes me want to throw up now. And just knowing how much cover-up culture there was going on, nobody thought to warn me that this man was dangerous. And all of this happened with Sean Bowles. And I did not find out until probably 2020 or 2021 that Sean was a complete con. The week before I married my ex, he became abusive for the first time. He ended up hitting my car and calling me an effing B. And I thought about calling off the wedding, but one, I didn't want to disappoint everybody. But the biggest thing is that I truly believe that this was God's will for my life. And he ended up being abusive again on the honeymoon, and it just got worse and worse from there. And he ended up strangling me twice during our marriage, which is an incredibly deadly form of domestic violence. I couldn't swallow without pain for more than 10 days after the second time, after the Disney World burger incident. And I feel extremely lucky to be alive. And that prophetic word really caused me so much fear because I was so afraid that I was going to go to hell if I didn't listen to what God told me that I should do, which I thought that was to be with Ted. This is getting kind of long, so I'm going to make another video about what we have found out about Bethel and their response, their lack of accountability, and just some other crazy cover-up things that they've been a part of. I joined a cult at 18 years old.
It's all of them. I mean,
These motherfuckers.
I'm telling you. And it's always, I got a vision from God. It's like, you're literally doxing people in the church. He has since left the church and is deconstructing. Yeah. Hopefully under a fucking prison somewhere.
Poor girl.
And that's the thing. I mean, how many of them are there?
Yeah.
How many are covered under NDAs? I think when people see that number, everybody's going to do an about face on religion.
I hope so.
Because you can slap a whole RICO case against the whole fucking all these religious sects, easy. Nobody's above the law.
No.
I mean, it could be one of the reasons, that Charlie Kirk and Erica being thrown into the public, front and center so much, because one thing leads to the next in terms of what he was doing and what they were all about, because it's a huge snowball.
Huge. And that's the thing. It's like, they said like a slow drip to a flood, right? And then they have an avalanche. Well, I mean, it just depends on when everything's going down. If it's a flood, yeah, it's going to happen during the spring, summer. But then when you're talking about all this stuff that's going on down south with weather, it's like none of that is normal. We can already say that. But you could liken it to a hurricane in the winter. I mean, I've never in my life seen that someplace going to get 5 inches of ice. And then you had a place in Russia that got 7 feet of snow. And they're out there playing it. They're like, oh, yeah, we're just digging out. It's like, they're just, nothing we can do. Just, but the churches are just.
And them drifts in Russia were mad, weren't they? They were going up to like 6-7 story buildings. They were all sledging off the top of them.
Oh, yeah. You should see the videos of it. It is insane. Yeah. I was bitching about 11 inches. I'm like, man, that's a lot of stuff. But 7 feet?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like, people are like, oh, yeah, I'm just, it's snow a little bit. I'm going to go out and take care of the walk. It's like, when does it get to the point where it's like, honey, the snow is over the roof. You can't open the front door. I mean, because you're talking about just 7 feet. Then you have drifts.
Right.
It's not like it's going to melt soon.
There's a lot of comments in the chat. Are you reading them, Stu?
Yeah, I'm trying to keep up.
Yeah, a lot of personal stories, very sad stories about the control of all this.
And the thing is, it's happened to all of us. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, we've all been polluted by all this, one way or another. But then you have these people, it's like, well, if you don't listen to this person, then you're not going to go to heaven. It's like, what kind of shit? Why are you telling kids that?
Yeah.
Period. That's it. But then what are the parents? The parents are taking them to this place that, but that's the thing. All of religion has to be exposed because, I mean, the ones you're supposed to, go to church and, think that, you're doing something good. You're part of the community. And then you start seeing the charismatic movement and all this. It's like, the mega churches, what do they call it? Prosperity gospel. Yeah. Pay us to go to heaven.
Right. Well, I don't know.
The gatekeeper to heaven. I mean,
have you ever listened to or heard Tom Althouse? The original writer of his story and the whole thing with Pat Robertson. Now, I remember as a kid, like 7th grade, 8th grade, my best friend was, we both met in school. My best friend at the time, she was Irish Catholic. Her parents were very religious, go to church every single week. But her mother was like semi, into the charismatic movement. And she had Pat Robertson on the Praise the Lord Club all the time. Now, me and my girlfriend would be in the other room because we'd hear her yelling in the other room, praise the Lord, like whenever they would say it. And so we would always mock that and, we make fun of it. But the bottom line is that they went on TV. They have this reputation, like they're so wonderful and they're doing healings. I don't know if you ever watched Pat Robertson. He would do like healings. Like, I see someone out there that has an eye affliction and the Lord is healing it now. And they would do all these things. And they're just disgusting when you hear stories like Tom.
Yeah. And then if you have this eye affliction, send us money, then you'll
We'll
be
pray
healed.
more.
You have to complete the circuit by sending us money. But then nothing happens because it wasn't God's will. Oh, I guess I didn't give enough.
Yeah.
Then you start giving more money and thinking that this is going to help your problem because this is what they've been telling people that it's like, and then you start bringing any church that brings 1 ounce of politics into anything ought to have the 501c3 stripped from them instantly. I mean, all the churches should anyways. If you think about it, all these churches, because we were going through that Baron Coleman list, I mean, hundreds of them, and they're all 501c3. I mean, Kris Jenner started a church in California. It's under the Calvary, and you have to pay $1,000 a month to go.
Really?
Well, wait a second. Whoa, wait a second. It's like, well, in order to have a church, I mean, don't you have to be following a certain book? It's like, well, what kind of church do we call this? But it's all one big money laundering scheme. I mean, that's all these are. And then they take all the subsidized money, they put in all these foundations, then they use it overseas to bring everybody over here to pretty much, ruin America. Now you see why the Pope, I might turn a border peace because you're involved too. We know.
But I just like with Kris Jenner and that whole ridiculous family, as far as I'm concerned, evil. Like now, I think she's going to be one of the ones to be used to actually expose this because her fame, is a household name, right? So now, if that story comes out and the ridiculousness of the absurdity of someone like her starting a church, that's how they're going to have to use these people.
Yep. And she has 6 toes too on 1 foot.
I know you said that before. I never actually saw it.
Who else has 6 toes? I mean, in this whole thing, how many of these people have 6 toes? A 6th toe. I mean, we know Clinton, Bush, and Obama are all Nephilim. We know that from the paintings. Count the fingers. That's how they put it in there. They hide it in plain sight. And I still can't believe nobody's caught on to that damn blue dress because everybody's looking at the blue dress and the red shoes. They're not concentrating on, because that's what they do. They put something for you to lock on. The blue dress is like, oh, that's that whatever her name is, Monica Lewinsky's dress. It's like, but they're like, well, how did he have that paint? It's like, well, count them. It's like they literally, I mean, everything's been shown.
Right.
Right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Ducked under.
What about the other hand?
Has 5. Well,
So
that's hidden right there. And this one right here. You have 5 on the outside. Well, if you're putting your hand over, right? Over your shoe and all that. Right? The thing is that what's on the backside? Because he has it hooked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now backside 6. Same thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 6th one is ducked under. That's how they do it.
Where do these paintings or drawings come from?
This was his official portrait for the White House.
With all that green?
Yeah, remember that one pedophile? There's one pedophile, voodoo witch doctor painted it.
That's fucked up.
Fucked up.
I mean, Bill and Hillary were married by voodoo witch doctors in Haiti.
Well,
and then what happened after that? And then Peter Strzok moves his shit to Haiti.
Yeah.
Oh. Because we wonder why Haiti's such a big thing, because it all goes back to Peter Strzok. It's like Minnesota, Peter Strzok. Somalia, Peter Strzok. It's like he's the only one that has connections with Minnesota, Africa, and that knows enough how to embezzle all this money to these Somali warlords in order to, build this Somaliland.
Where was I? I was watching something. Stu, I don't know if it was watching it together, you and I. Isn't like Somalia not even like a country? It's not even.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
like
it's a country.
the average IQ is like 65.
No, but I thought there was something about its borders and how it was created. It wasn't even really like.
Well,
I don't
and
know.
they're tied to the UAE big time. Because you got Somalia, you got Yemen, because it's right in the Red Sea. Right and important. That's why they want Somaliland, because then they feel that if they have Somaliland, then they could have access to the Gulf of Aden and in the Red Sea, that they would have that area, that key waterway.
That's Israel was trying to get hold of it, wasn't it?
Yep. Because it wraps right around Ethiopia.
Yeah.
And you think about it, it's like, yeah, and then why do they want to be in Somalia? Why do they want to be so close to Ethiopia? But then Trump totally ruined their whole lives because he's like, yeah, we're going to help Egypt and Ethiopia with that dam, with that Aswan Dam. It's like, you know that pisses them off.
Yeah.
Because they wanted help on that whole, that's why they leveled Gaza, because they want to put that David Ben-Gurion canal in there so they could have a port there, then they don't have to use the Suez Canal.
Right.
Because they monitor everything through the Suez. So if they have a bypass to that, then they could bring all their kids right up there and do a little organ harvesting. And
I'm sorry, I said country. Thank you in the chat.
An official government, yeah.
Official government. That's what I was thinking.
It's like, so where's all this money going?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you're talking billions upon billions of dollars.
Yeah, where is it going? Who's getting it? I mean, let's just look at those videos. These people just look like paid schleps that are answering the door and saying no one's here. I mean, who are they, right? With the burkas and all that. But where's the money really going? Who's really in charge, and how is that's what has to go all the way up to the top.
And then
you don't have a government.
I think they've arrested a lot of people trying to take money out in suitcases and stuff. I mean, that's only a small part of it. But
did you see New York was just in the news on this too? I put it in our little thing, Stu. New fraud scheme in New York targeting. Yeah, it's just, I'm saying the fraud is just coming out everywhere. 2 individuals plead guilty to $68 million fraud scheme of Brooklyn-based adult daycares and home health care companies. So we're looking at the child care. Now it's going to move into the home health care. Like, it's all one big cesspool of money laundering.
And they've been stealing from us and then expecting the taxpayer to foot the bill. And then if we don't do it, then guess what? We get thrown in jail. But hey, churches and all that, hey, yeah, just don't mind them.
For what? Like, and when the average person does something, like the average person, right? What is it? Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, like, okay. And then this is billions, and they just keep signing it off and signing it off. So they, their hands in it. Whoever the government, whoever the officials are that keep letting this go through.
Would have all been subpoenas now, haven't they? Waltz, Jacob Gray.
I mean, I think Waltz has gone the way of the whatever, but yes, publicly.
Yeah, get that that Jacob Fry's wife too. She's involved. All the wives, and they say watch the wives. Like, now you're starting to see that the wives are running the trafficking, because nobody's going to actually think that the women would actually run child trafficking, because logically women are mothers and people wouldn't do that to their own kids.
Yeah. And they showed that even in like The Sound of Freedom, the way they wrote that and set that up, they showed that it was that woman that was, because also women are trustworthy. So forget about like not looking at the wives from a who's doing the wrongdoing here standpoint, but children, people, they're going to trust women more, right? Because we're so maternal and loving, never be involved in something so disgusting like that. They're evil.
This is like a whole new level of evil, though. I mean, this is. It almost makes you think that the fucking whole Jesus acronym is fucking correct. Jews enslaved sovereigns under Satan. Because, I mean, if you think about it, like, everybody's like, you know, because if we don't know what Christ said, then how do we know how to follow Christ?
Right.
I mean, it's basically that simple. It's like, okay, so he found a way to cheat the hologram, but this whole thing, it's like, well, you're going to do better stuff than me. Well, that scares everybody too. Because they're like, well, what do you mean? So what did the church do? They're like, oh, in order to do this, God says you have to do that. It's like, where's that written? And then they come up with some biblical bullshit, some line that's forged in the whole Schofield Bible. All the Schofield Bible is basically the Talmud version of the Bible. That's all it is. Clean cut and dry, because it's all what somebody else thinks, what other people interpret. It's like, we're not looking for the interpretation of this. We can interpret it ourselves, because you may see it one way and it might be a totally different way, but all of you guys are wrong because, well, all of you guys are fucking kids and preying on the, you know, you're doing everything to the complete opposite of what, I mean, who knows? Maybe that's what the church was founded for.
Yeah. As
Christ
one
didn't
massive
make the church. Like, you guys, yeah.
You know, it's funny, when I was growing up, my father was like anti-religion, but he was obsessed at the same time with like the Bible and trying to like poke holes. Now, growing up, it was annoying, you know what I mean? But his big statement all the time was, how does God change his nature? How does he go from this, you know, this vindictive God to all of a sudden being that, like, it doesn't gel?
No. It never has. And everybody's like, oh, they come up with different names. It's like, well, I mean, who wrote this? I mean, who translated it? Who, you know, because, I mean, how do you know the translations were ever even done correctly? Because you don't know what that means. And they keep on changing the meanings of everything just to suit their.
Well, we know they interpret the translations are wrong. I mean, people who are truth seekers and who've done a lot of research and understand Aramaic, they understand all these ancient languages, they've all said the word doesn't mean this and the interpretation doesn't mean that. And this is what Jesus meant when he said this. So we know it's all wrong.
But that, I mean, that's half the problem anyway, isn't it? Because it's like so many people interpret it in a different way, right? That you're going to constantly have fucking conflict.
That's why religion's a hive mind. You have everybody thinking one way when you're supposed to find it on your own. I mean, you're literally polluting it, and then you start and then that's what brings in the cult.
Yeah.
Because then inside the church, then you have a hierarchy within the church, and then everybody thinks, well, in order to get this, it's like, if you get to this level, I get closer to God, and it's like,
yeah,
no.
When my daughter, who's now 20, she'll be 22, she was in grammar school, and they had this very young priest, and she would come home every day and she'd be like, Ma, I just got into a huge fight with the priest. I was like, about what? Like, she was just punching holes in everything, like the way the interpretation of women are treated, the interpretation of marriage, the interpretation of, you know, homosexuality, like everything. And she and his response was, he had no real response. It was always like, that's what it says. That's what we're supposed to do.
And then you look at the Mormons, it's like the whole book was I mean, who wrote that? You know, it's like they took the Freemason Bible, they just started just gelling everything together, and then it's like, well, no, this is what I think it's going to be, because I looked in a secret hat with 2 secret stones, and this is what it says it said. And it's like, at one point, does logic, but the logic doesn't kick in for them.
Right.
Because they're all brainwashed from birth. And then they have to, and then you notice, like, the girl from Bethel, it's like, yeah, we got engaged and we got married right away. It's like, that's what the Mormons do too. They try to force it on them. And then who owns your kids? The church owns your kids. You don't. They become church property. So wherever they think that child needs to go with, especially if they're 8 or 9 years old, they go with them. And there's nothing you can say about it.
And they have you either way, because remember, like, divorce is a sin, and this is, so once you're married, I mean, thank God she has the strength. She said it was the hardest thing she did, because she was battling what they told her where she was supposed to be that God wanted. And then now she's a sinner, I'm sure, you know, according to that, because she got divorced. And you know what really, like, never made sense to me, at least in the Catholic Church, for example, because priests can't get married, right? Why is anybody listening to a priest? Okay, unless he actually has a degree in psychology and he's acting in the capacity of like a counselor where he's trained in that, but most aren't. And you're going to a priest who never got married, never has the challenges of a relationship, sharing, stress, pressures, right? Internal politics, giving you advice on it, how to stay married.
Yeah. Oh, while they're diddling kids.
What's that?
Oh, while they're diddling kids.
But even the ones that aren't, what gives you the ability to do that? Like, you don't have you don't have enough experience to give me advice, but it always comes down to, well, you made this commitment and you need to stay.
Especially Catholics, like, oh, you can't live together. It's like, then how in the hell do you know if you're going to gel with this person or not? You know?
Yeah.
It's like, my sibling got married, or second marriage. Well, the first marriage got married in Catholic Church. They had to come out and, you know, say they're not living together and all. I'm like, well, why? It's like they had to go to classes in order to get married. I'm like,
well, the whole point of pre-Cana is supposed to technically get you to look at questions that could potentially be like help you or hinder you to figure out how your marriage is going to work, how you view this and how you view that. But most of it is also just about the rules, like, you know, the rhythm method, because you're not supposed to use birth control and all this other shit that's more indoctrination into living a Catholic life. But it's just control.
that's it. Catholicism is cannibalism. I mean, nobody said that, you know, he said allegorical. He's like, here, drink this, eat this. It's like, this is the last meal. Have at it, guys. Tomorrow I'm done. I'm going home. Fuck you guys. You guys are stupid. I'm out. Simple
My
as that.
body? That sounds a little satanic to me.
Yeah. It's a death cult. Because the guy's hanging on a cross still, across a deconstructed cube, and say, oh, you have to follow him. It's like, who put him there? And then this whole IHS with the Jesuits, it's Isis, Horus, and Set. The whole thing is demonic. It's all pharaonic and everything like that. That's why they go back to the pharaohs in Egypt. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's when they were fucking around with the animal and human genetics and all that.
Yeah.
And what are they doing now?
Same thing.
Different play, not even different players, probably same players, just different skins.
Like those awful videos that we've probably all seen of those horrible genetics of mixing humans with animals.
Yeah.
So sad.
Yeah. We can't find a cure for cancer, even though we had it back in the 50s. Can't find a cure for that. Can't find a cure for malaria because we're too busy messing with genetics. We're too busy playing God. Huh. Isn't that something we're supposed to do?
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
I've got a couple of emails saved about the brainwashing sites and what lies underneath Sherry Striner. I can send you that, and the first adrenochrome bust as well. Just an interesting read. But the second one is called The Programming Sites, all about this stuff they do underground, human genetic hybrid experiments, MK Ultra.
And, you know, girl Epstein was doing it out in New Mexico. I mean, they're doing it everywhere. Because now they're like, oh, looks like the Simpsons were right on another thing. It's like, wait a second. So let's go back to the Simpsons and that Matt Groening that was actually attending these Edge Foundation dinners. That's why when Trump's talking about like all this predictive shit, it's all ending. It's like, yeah, it's all over because all the predictive programming they were instilling on us. So that's why Trump took 300 and all that. He is literally throwing a wrench in their movies and flipping it around. I mean, you're getting a red carpet event at Davos. They hate you. But I think enough people know exactly who he is. Finally. Because, I mean, if you have a board of peace and they're talking about, they're going to have, what was it, 10 top board members and the other ones all like little ones. So who's the one at the top? It's Trump. Everything goes through him. He who has the gold makes the rules.
Mm-hmm.
If he has the Toledo gold certificate and the 640,000 metric tons, sure does beat the 8,000 tons they say they have at Fort Knox, right? Big time. That's why they're like, hey, we'll sign. It's like, but in order to have peace, and you got he signed. BB's like, oh yeah, I'll be a part of it. Same time they're over there, fucking knocking over churches and blowing up walls in the West Bank and slaughtering a bunch of people because, well, that's just what we have to do. Boy, are they in for a big rude awakening. Big. And also, when you think about that rapture, it's like, and they were talking about these people like floating up. What if it's everybody that took that different shot? Not the ones like Moderna and all that, but Sputnik 5. Makes a lot of sense if like people are going up in the air for multiple seconds and floating away. It's like, well, where's Sputnik? Up there. So they want their harvest, like the Anunnaki are going to come back and get their harvest.
What happened to Free Eye Atlas?
It's still here.
Haven't heard much. Like, you know what I mean? It was like really a lot for a while.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, mum's the word, but it's still here. They're like, oh, it zoomed out. It's like, you sure about that, NASA? I mean, it's not like you haven't lied to us in the past. Hey, we're going to the moon. Oh, here we are. Stupid.
That's all they fucking do is lie.
Mm-hmm. And think about all the money that NASA's gotten over since their creation.
I believe when they made that film, I think it was called Gravity, was it? It cost them $100 million to make that. And NASA gets funding, government funding of $20 billion a year. You think how much they could fake with that?
Did you guys ever see the movie Capricorn 1?
No, I don't think so.
Believe it or not, I think I got to look it up. I think O.J. Simpson was in it, but it was all about a fake moon landing.
Oh,
hold on, I'm looking at 1977, Capricorn 1. 3 astronauts, James Brolin, Sam Waterston, O.J. Simpson, are about to launch into space on the first mission to Mars, but when a mechanical failure surfaces that could kill all 3 men, it removes them from the Capricorn 1. Anyway, it's like a conspiracy. Now, of course, they were supposed to go to Mars. Okay, but insert the moon,
You said James Brolin, right?
Yeah. To prevent a public outcry, NASA launches the capsule unmanned and requires the astronauts to film fake mission footage in a studio. However, the plan is compromised when an ambitious journalist, Elliot Gould, discovers the conspiracy. Interesting.
Man.
Screenplay was Peter Hyams. He was the director.
Because there's another movie I was watching at Kate Podge, and she mentioned this movie Weapons that came out last year. It's a story that the plot follows the case of 17 children from the same classroom who mysteriously run away on the same night at the same time.
That's a 17.
Yeah.
Who were behind their disappearance?
And the thing is Weapons, right? Called Weapons. Now think about all these, I don't know, these tranny Antifa gangs. It's almost as if she's mentioned that, you know, if everything's parasitic, right? So what if they injected these people with parasites, or wherever they're living, there's parasites that they're unleashing in the food or in the air, because they're all college kids. So what are they putting in the food at the colleges or whatever? Because it's not like people just wake up and hate their country.
Right.
You know, why is it that every time somebody comes home from college, they end up being a complete liberal cuck? It's like they completely brainwash them into a completely different way of thinking, so they all become slaves.
Yeah. By the way, it's very interesting, just like an FYI, on this movie Weapons that you just mentioned. It's very interesting that Josh Brolin, James Brolin's son, is in this one. Like
that's why I'm like, wait, are you?
Maybe they're too good. Maybe they're, I don't know. I mean, I know he's married to, the father is married to Barbara Streisand. But,
oh God.
But I don't know. I mean, they're in some movies that have a lot of disclosure. So.
And it's like they hide it in plain sight. It's like.
They do, or maybe it's not them. It's maybe that's the white hats now controlling a lot of shit showing, and that where they were able to.
Well, and that's the thing too, is that looking at this, you know, it was supposed to be released in January of 2025, but they released it on August 8th, 2025.
Yeah. So listen what the, go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right. No, go ahead.
Listen what the AI says. It says, is Weapons movie really a true story? And it says, no, the movie Weapons is not a true story, but it's fictional and uses a common horror trope of claiming to be real, while director Zach Krager drew from real life grief, personal experiences, and real missing children cases for its emotional core and unsettling realism, especially inspired by the sudden death of his friend Trevor Moore. So the 17, the set, you know, yeah.
Man.
Interesting.
Yeah, 1 second here. See this?
And how could it not be necessary? Like, you know, they're playing semantics with it. Like, it's not a true story, but it's based on his experience. So it's sort of true. Maybe the names have been changed, maybe right? But it's still, he didn't just come out of it, like out of the recesses of his mind.
Yeah, so I put that clip. It's like 5 minutes long. It's the last clip in there. It's 4:42 long. And when I saw this, I'm like, Weapons. I'm like, and then you see children. It's like, you know that. I mean, the whole super soldier thing.
Yeah.
It's like, why is it 17 missing? It's like, and when this is so psychotic that.
It's very interesting. It got a 93% rating from Rotten Tomatoes.
And you'll see why. Because it's purely demonic. They always give high rankings to, because they're pushing people to go see it, and then the whole subliminal shit, and because critics, I mean, they get paid for their shit. So,
do you want me to play that?
Yeah.
Right, just quickly before that, I've got another video there you sent, which is about the border peace. So if you want to play that, that's ready to go.
That one right there by Melody King.
Sorry, that one.
Yeah, the stuff that Melody King was saying, it's like the 10 kingdoms, and it's like and the whole border, because it's like, look, they have, it's like border peace is already made and everything like that. It's like in Davos, how it's like they knew. I mean,
that Davos thing was fucking. It was brilliant, wasn't it? There was some great speeches. Now, his name's gone completely out of my head. Who's he?
That is Howard Lutnick.
Howard Lutnick, right. He had a 2-minute speech there. I don't need to play that.
Oh, yeah.
That basically, I can play it if you like. That told the globalists,
yes,
you are no more. Right?
Man,
I can play that, but just...
Yes. Oh, if you want to play that one first, I mean, that one...
I'll do that. I just, very quickly, because those spaces were about 126, if you want to play with that, fitting that in there, the drops from around, I don't know if these mean anything, 123 characters, nothing is random, everything is meaning. Then it's all going into these pluses around this 124, 125, 126. So previous was deleted, curious. So that may be something to look at later. But let's play that then, because that is a great little video.
Man. And then the Scott Best, the Scott Bassett and oh my God, it just you guys, if we can find that one too. Oh, he goes off on Newsom. Oh my God, it just
I've got that. I'll go on my Telegram after that.
So fucking funny.
Right, let's just play this one then.
Well, I think you should start at a much higher level. Okay. We are in Davos at the World Economic Forum. And the Trump administration and myself, we are here to make a very clear point. Globalization has failed the West and the United States of America. It's a failed policy. It is what the WEF has stood for, which is export, offshore, far shore, find the cheapest labor in the world, and the world is a better place for it. The fact is, it has left America behind. It has left the American workers behind. And what we are here to say is that America First is a different model, one that we encourage other countries to consider, which is that our workers come first. We can have policies that impact our workers. Sovereignty is your borders. You're entitled to have borders. You shouldn't offshore your medicine. You shouldn't offshore your semiconductors. You shouldn't offshore your entire industrial base and have it be hollowed out beneath you. You should not be dependent for that which is fundamental to your sovereignty on any other nation. And if you're going to be dependent on someone, it darn well better be your best allies. Okay? And so that is a different way of thinking. It is completely different than the WEF. I viewed the WEF as not a flagpole in the middle, but in fact, they are the flag. Whichever way the wind blew, so it blew. You should have solar, you should have wind. Why are you going to do solar and wind? Why would Europe agree to be net zero in 2030 when they don't make a battery? They don't make a battery. So if they go 2030, they are deciding to be subservient to China, who makes the batteries.
I forgot that one. That's some Top Gun music over the back of it.
Yeah, let me just say, do you guys know who he is?
Yeah.
Because he was, I knew the name, it connected. Howard Lutnick was the CEO of Cantor Fitzgerald. And if you know anything about 9/11, that they lost like probably the most people because of where the planes went into the buildings. And in fact, I know a number of people like in my town and friends whose husbands never came home because they would work for that firm. So he has that background. Now it's been controversial a little bit because part of it, like, he made promises, but apparently, from what I understand, he tried to make the most he could to help these people in addition to anything else that was going on, that they were getting help from. And he was trying to do good by his employees that got murdered that day, as the CEO. But it's very interesting, I find, that his connection somehow to Trump, and he was a big donor, I think, to the 2020 election. I'm not sure about prior to that, the 2016.
Oh, he better be. He's fucking. That's what that man better be working his ass off. Because if you want to talk about 9/11, why wasn't he at Cantor Fitzgerald that morning?
Well, I think his brother died.
Of course. Didn't tell his brother. But yet, he was the one that came up with the betting, with the real-time betting on betting on real event outcomes. They were betting on 9/11. He's the one that created the betting system that G.H.W. Bush won $1 trillion on betting on how many firefighters are going to die that day, 343. Kind of odd. Just like, everybody else that didn't go to work that day. Funny.
Yeah.
It's always some lame excuse. Oh, first time I missed in 10 years. It's like,
yeah. Well, in any case, I find it very interesting that he's 2020 doesn't say anything about 2016, but miraculously 2020 and 2024, he's a big supporter of Trump.
Yeah.
You listen to Larry Silverstein tell that story of how his wife made him go that day.
Yeah.
An absolutely pathetic.
Beyond pathetic. I mean, I told her, no. It's like, I mean, the whole... That's why 9/11 has got to come out. Because...
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean... And they would say, if they say, oh, well, because certain country... at this point, fuck France, fuck England. Because it's not their people. It's the power structure that's doing this. Because it's not like a bunch of Brits are like, hey, let's go blow up the Twin Towers. But then yet you have a bunch of them that are over there dancing in New Jersey and taking pictures with it, and they get flown right back because nothing to see here. But hey, somebody did find that passport.
Oh yeah, of course that surveyed.
Well, we saw Jane Stanley. Jane Stanley reporting it with a Salomon building still standing behind her.
Yeah.
And the feed went, we seem to have lost images. So I quickly play this Scott Besant one because this is classic.
Oh my God. and the one that he does when he's standing up, because also a clean house is necessary, right? Political at USA House in Davos. Which house did you clean? Why did you say all the executions were perfect? He's literally foreshadowing. He's like, guys, we got him. Red carpet event. It's like, I'm out. They're all still there. I'm out. My God, this guy's great.
I think Gavin Newsom may be cracking up with some of these things he's saying. I think he may be in over his hairdo. And being on the national stage is very different than being governor of California with no signature achievements. But to say strange things like President Trump is a Tyrannosaurus Rex. What the hell does that mean? I could say Gavin Newsom is a brontosaurus with a brain the size of a walnut. And if you brought the knee pads, maybe that was for his meeting with Alex Soros. I don't know.
Yeah, did you see what he did? He brought out knee pads with Trump's name signed on them. It's like, wait a second. It's like, that's what it's like. You have a governor from the same country that you're representing, and he's coming in and, and they're worried about fraud in Minnesota and all that. It's like,
he's taking such a page out of Trump's playbook with the way he describes people and insults them, and just for fun, last week we were just going around YouTube and and I rewatched some of the 2016 primary debates. I mean, you can't write shit like that the way Trump was, and the best of his facial expressions. It's like he's just like looking, and he's a sweater, and all these things.
So Rand Paul's hair.
It's
just like
Rosie O'Donnell.
Man, and then there was, on that White House Response X account, after, because I guess Newsom was supposed to speak, and Trump's like, nope, he ain't speaking. So then they posted the failing governor of California, rampant with fraud, watches from the corner cuck chair as POTUS delivers a true masterclass in Davos. Embarrassing. With a picture of him, it's like a cuck chair. I mean,
yeah, that was brilliant.
This is what we voted for right here. Bring it all back. Bring back, you know what? You want to get offended? Be offended. I don't care. You don't like it? Don't listen.
Stu, did you show Jason your new patch?
Hold on.
We're getting all these patches to put on our hats. You got to see this one.
I've got loads of crap in here. All my badges and that. Hold up.
Nice.
All my badges and stuff.
Nice. Oh yeah.
You got to see one of them.
Hold up. It's not
showing. He's gonna like this one.
Make retard great again. Yes. Man, this.
Yeah, I've got loads in there. I was just trying to look at that Trump berating Gavin Newsom when he was standing on the side, but I can't find that.
Well, and then you had
we should one day, if there's a lull of some kind, we should go back and look at some of those things and just give everybody a laugh. That was such classic Trump. I mean, I can't think of a time when that was more, because it was just like over and over and over and over. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now he'll make a comment, now he'll say a little something, but then it was just one after the next. And his descriptions, his words, his facial expressions, doesn't get better than that.
Yeah, I think this is it.
My God.
People in California, we want to have no crime. I know Gavin was here. I used to get along so great with Gavin when I was president. Gavin's a good guy. And we're going to, if he needed it, I would do it in a heartbeat. I'd love to see, we did help them a lot in Los Angeles, a lot with the early in my term when they had some problems. But we would love to do it. I would say this, if I were a Democrat governor or whatever, I would call up Trump. I say, come on in, make us look good, because we're cutting crime down to nothing. And we're taking people out, career criminals who are only going to do bad things, and we're bringing them back to their countries. But where we've done it has been amazing. And we have a capacity to do it at much greater levels. We're cutting illegal aliens off welfare and other government benefits, and I have directed that starting immediately, there will be no more payments to sanctuary cities, because they are really just sanctuaries for criminals. They're really protecting criminals, and those are the ones we have to get out of the country. Murderers, drug dealers, the mentally insane. They emptied their mental institutions into the United States. And despite that, we have the lowest crime numbers that we've ever had in the history of the country. Just came out. But equally importantly, we're cracking down on more than $19 billion in fraud. We're going to help the people.
Talk about humiliation.
Yeah.
Josh, you're muted.
Oh, sorry about that. The whole Patrick Bateman meets Sparkle Beach Ken was just, and the thing is, memes at the ready, right? I mean, it's almost as if those who create memes, because there are a lot of great meme creators, and it's almost as if that's what helps them, knowing that we're following what they're doing, and we're putting it out there as memes, because it's literally like you look at it and you laugh and then you realize, holy shit, that's truth. And then, but remember, they said memes, they can't detect, the AI can't detect the memes. So you make a meme, you can't just ban a meme because the AI doesn't know what it is. It just reads it as a program.
You know what the first memes were? If you think about it, they were some of the nursery rhymes, like Humpty Dumpty. They hid those messages that they were really trying to say about taking down the king and different things like that they couldn't say, right? So now it's always been going on, but now you have these very visual kind of things.
Oh, and then the whole make retards great again. So they're all out there in Davos protesting Trump, saying no kings in a continent, Europe, that is packed full of monarchies. Make that make sense. Especially in England, when they're run on no kings. It was they were doing a no kings protest on the same day that on June 14th, that was the same day as they observed the king's birthday. So it's like no king. It's like exactly. It's like that's why we had the Revolutionary War.
So, do you think that no kings that was alight on the mountain at Davos was protesters or the fourth psychological operations group, potentially?
Look, I mean, you had and the best part is about Davos are like Avi Yemeni from Australia and everything, but they're bum rushing these people like Bill Gates and Larry
Rebel News.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's, people like Nick Shirley and people like, oh, Nick Shirley's Mormon. Is he going to the temple, guys? I mean, he's doing what, at that point, it's like, okay, he's a Mormon. It's like, but is he exposing all? And now they're like, oh, he's a Mossad asset. It's like, I'm not understanding the motive of thinking here. Because, yeah, he could be a Mormon, but the thing is, he could say, well, he believes in Christ and all that, but, it's not like he's, out whoring around and everything like that. And that's what they're like, oh, yeah, same thing they did with the whole Fuentes thing, but Fuentes just, he's in the whole thing on his own with the feds. But you look at this, and it's like, with Nick, it's like you can't ding him on a honeypot and everything like this. It's like he's a virgin still, everything. And he's just, he's not worried about, because he's only 23 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, fuck, when we were 23, Stu, I mean, we were full of piss and vinegar, doing that. It's like, can you imagine just doing everything for the country and everything? It's like, that's what we need, but everybody dogs them. Well, then we're the real journalists doing the real journalist shit.
Yeah.
We are the news now.
They were smuggling these suitcases of money when Obama was president in Minnesota. So it's like, well, who set all that up? Peter Strzok Sr. He's a direct tie to Obama, to Somalia, to the Jesuits, to all these different, like China, Haiti, everything. He's the one that devised the whole plan of using USAID money, going overseas and saying, oh, we need to help the Africans because they're poor, they're desolate, they're hungry. And then, oh, we're going to move to Haiti. We're going to move here. It's like,
mm-hmm.
And I had no idea he was still alive. That's the issue we're having here.
Well, wouldn't you think They have him totally under control. I mean, they have to have him. I mean, his son was probably just just another puppet. This guy was involved with a lot of other stuff. His father, I'm sure they have it all.
Well, and remember, he was like,
we don't know if he's alive either.
Yeah, and like that Lisa Page are saying, oh, well, she's a layer, right? When Trump was like, oh, she's a layer. It's like a layperson, guys, a Jesuit. Goes back to the Jesuits. Because remember, the Jesuits fall under the Roman Catholic Church. So, technically, like all those lead to Rome, right? No, they lead to Romania. Everything leads to Romania. Because they're not gonna put it right in the Vatican and shit. They're gonna be like, they want plausible deniability. Let's put it in place where nobody's gonna look. Problem is, everybody's looking now. Because this whole Erica Kirk thing, it literally blew it up. That's why it had to be this way. That's why the whole thing. I mean, this whole mother goddess worship and all this shit and how everybody's going after her, but it's like, she don't have to answer for a damn thing, but it's like, I don't think you caught that because everything that you're putting out there and being a nonprofit, the people that donate, I mean, they've gotten $250 million since he died. She still sent out letters to get money. It's like, what are you doing with this money? And then you have a TPUSA endowment fund. It's like, just like the Mormons. It's like, then you look at the Mormons like, well, wait a second, they have a real estate, a real estate arm? If you have a real estate arm, then you can pay your taxes. Because everybody's tithing to you, then you need to tithe back to us. That's how this works. Man.
Well, I've got a couple of videos here. Do you want me to play that little weapons one?
Yeah. That, Elisa, I mean, if you guys can pick up other stuff, because I mean, I watched it once, but there's something with this, because when you see the woman, I mean, this is the one that they said got the 9 stars or something like that.
Yeah, 9.3 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Cool. Right, let's play this.
All right.
We have to talk about the movie Weapons because I watched it the other day and there is so much truth in plain sight. The entire time I was like, I eventually want to do an entire walkthrough of this film because the whole thing just felt insane to me. But I just want to point out a few of the parts that had me like, oh my gosh. So in the movie, a lot of it is based in like a school setting. And there's a principal and he's gay and married to a man. We get a glimpse of his home life. It shows him and his husband cooking and about to sit down with a plate that had 7 hot dogs on it. And if you know your Bible stuff, pork is forbidden. It is not food. It never was. Pigs are designed to be cleaners. Jesus cast demons into a herd of pigs. I'm a firm believer that demons are parasites, or at minimum, parasites are demonic entities of some kind. So they show them sitting down with a whole bunch of hot dogs. The very next thing the camera pans to is the television showing an ant, and it's being overtaken by a parasite and eaten from the inside out. I've had countless people tell me that they thought they were gay before doing a parasite cleanse, and then when they did the parasite cleanse, they were straight. So then after it shows the ant being eaten by a parasite, there's a knock on the door, and it's no other than our main character, the whore of Babylon. That is 100% who this is supposed to be. She has the red hair.
I mean, look at that thing.
Doesn't have the wig on. If you see the movie, looks exactly like Mel Gibson's version of Satan in Passion of the Christ. I believe that the harlot is Satan. So they're eating the hot dogs. The doorbell rings. They get up to get it. It's her. She asks to come in. So the principal at the school had a prior run-in with this character. She had made an appointment to talk about her nephew. And as I'm watching this, I'm looking at the ribbons next to her, and I was like, oh my gosh, those are the Northern Lights colors. And in the Bible, it sometimes refers to the lights as banners. So I'm like, okay, ribbons of light. Well, it turns out she had stolen the ribbons, and I guess the principal didn't notice at the time that they were gone, but she took them with her. So when she knocks at the door, she asks to come in, and things are like semi-normal at first, and then she snips like pieces of each of their hair and like does this ritual thing and wraps the ribbons that she stole with their hair and like a stick and did some kind of ritual. And when she did the ritual, they turned demonic. They turned into like super soldiers, like the Black Awakening, because they had parasites. Basically, she was able to control almost anybody that she wanted to. There were very few people that were not like under her spells. And big spoiler alert, one of the big things that this movie is about is that all of these kids went missing. Well, the big thing that she would do is do this to children and make them fly to her. So they would like run super, super fast with their arms out and go wherever she was. And she hid all of these children like in her basement, which is wild because that's exactly what Pennywise the Clown does. He hides the children like underground and has them like in a trance. But this had me absolutely gagged because I grew up in a Catholic church. And I started to have like flashbacks of the different prayers that were standard in the church. And I have gone super in depth about how I believe that the harlot masquerades as Mary, the mother of Jesus. It's not actually Mary. It's Satan. We are not saying anything about Jesus's actual mother that was here on earth, but I'm pointing out that this is definitely a dark entity who I believe to be Satan or Babylon herself. So one of the big things in the prayers to Mary is that you fly to her. And I remember multiple pictures in my church and in my catechism materials where it was specifically small children that flew to Mary. This movie was absolutely crazy to me. I think I need to watch it a second time with like a notepad and note down every weird thing. Drop it in the comments if you guys have other movies that have a ton of truth in plain sight. I need some new ones. We have to talk about the movie.
That actress there with the red hair, was that John Candy's missus in Uncle Buck?
No. That was, one second, Madigan. What was this, Madigan?
Oh, Amy Madigan. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
married to what's his name? The guy that was in Glengarry Glen Ross. He's been in a lot. I'll get her husband. Yeah, no, she's a great actress.
Scott Glenn?
No.
Oh, what?
Ed Harris.
Oh, right, yeah.
Ed Harris. Wow. So weird. Huh. Well, the hot dogs too were, I wasn't thinking in terms of the pork. And
I was thinking the other way with the pedophilia, with the hot dogs.
I was too.
Because being gay and all that, it's like, wait, and
why are they having hot dogs? And also, I don't personally think of hot dogs as pork. I think of them as beef, but maybe that's just right. But nonetheless, the whole parasite thing, and God bless her, she was trying to decode the movie.
She was in Uncle Buck as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And here's the thing. It says, the importance of Gladys's character necessitated correct casting for that role. Krager recalled, and that's the director, recalled liking Madigan's performance in Field of Dreams and believed she would give a great performance after spotting her in a list of potential casting choices. According to him, Madigan saved, in quotes, saved the film. But you'll see why. When discussing the character, he stated that he gave her two options as to Gladys's origin. One where she was a regular person using witchcraft to prevent her dying from an incurable condition, and one where she was instead an immortal creature performing an approximate simulacrum of a human being, but that he did not ask her which one she chose. So it's either you're preventing witchcraft to prevent dying, or you're moving your soul into another body, another vessel. Then it says filming. Principal photography took place in the Atlanta area in May 2024 and wrapped up in July 2024. The Maybrook Elementary School located was in Tucker, Georgia. According to Time Out, one of the busiest days of filming, 170 children were involved. Child labor coordinators were enlisted to keep the kids engaged outside of filming. So, what do you mean engaged? Because if it's all about witchcraft and everything, and the people that ran this was Creative Artists Agency, I mean, this is pure demonic. I mean, this is... Even some people scored the film 9 out of 10, called it a quote-unquote righteous, fully actualized genre bending. Well, a righteous, fully actualized genre bender in which writer-director Zach Greger hones Barbarian's blend of unbearable tension and dark humor to a new level of razor sharpness. And Charles Moore of The Verge praised the film's meditation on how communities often conjure up convenient boogeymen to blame rather than confronting the things that actually endanger children, like other adults, like a gay principal. Why does the principal have to be gay? Well, why? And then they go to hot dogs, and then you have kids missing. Where'd the kids go? Are the kids with the principal? I mean, it's just fucking...
I've heard a lot about that creative started artist agency. It's weird.
Yeah, that Creative Artists Agency, that's one step demonic too. I mean, it's... Oh, man. But yeah, if you want to play that one video...
I'll just play that. Just interesting. CIA got 311 that goes straight to who's saying that.
Yeah.
CIA.
Mm-hmm. Because the Secret Service is run through England. So, what's the Secret Service's job? It's to protect their investment. Now you see why Trump was getting so many attempts. Secret Service guy. I would protect Trump with military. That's it. With the Marines, that's it. That's all you need. Special forces, whatever. Get rid of the whole Secret Service, all of it.
Yeah, well, what we were talking about earlier, it's amazing how many people you're seeing installed and coming up and in certain roles and stuff. They all seem to be ex-military. If you look at this 60,000 secret army, that Newsweek article and stuff, I think so. Even that Butler, where Trump got shot, there was 10,000 people there at that rally. Most of his rallies, 50, 60,000 people. They could have all been military dressed up. There's so much about that. You know, comparatory, the fireman that got shot and stuff, they were missing a character out of his name when they put the shrine there. And at CPAC, they had his fireman's coat on there, missing a letter. I think it was all staged, Butler, completely.
And plus, when we that to that point, yes, but I think they are protecting him from space or whatever, that they could pinpoint everything that's going on around him, and that within a millisecond or whatever the time, they could take anybody out who's coming near. So that's clearly how they're protecting him. And, you know, somebody just gets in, like, that's the fight I would have with normies. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Somebody just got in there. They snuck in. Like, really?
Yeah.
And the best thing is, Dina brought me a plate of bacon.
Well,
I had no idea what we were talking about. And I'm like,
did you get hungry? Because everyone's banging on about bacon in the chat.
well, because I mentioned bacon, because remember that lady's like, oh, pork, you're not supposed to eat it. It's unclean. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. So we'll tone for that later. We're toning for all this now, for all the bacon, everything like that. It's like,
I was going to say to you a good hour ago or so, Magic Bird put in the chat, what does HMFIC on Jason's shirt mean? Does it mean head motherfucker in charge?
Yep.
Yeah. I thought as much.
That it do.
Right. Shall I play this one then?
Yeah. This one has oh God, oh my God, so many it's all coming together, guys. It's all coming together.
Brilliant. Right, this is 25 minutes. I might speed it up if it's a little bit slow.
Okay, yeah. You can put it at 1.25.
Yeah, okay, sweet.
All right.
So today was the official signing for the Board of Peace. I want to walk you through some of the activity that has been happening with that. But then also, I want to tie this into something else that I think is what makes this actually so significant, something we have never seen in the history of mankind. So walk with me through this, but let's take a look at this first thing.
President Trump has announced his Board of Peace for Gaza. More than 20 countries are reported to have signed up, including Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Israel, each asked to pay $1 billion for permanent membership. Originally intended to end the war between Hamas and Israel and help oversee the reconstruction of Gaza, the remit looks to be expanding, with Trump saying it might replace the United Nations to maintain global peace. France, Sweden, and Norway have all declined invitations because of concern about supplanting the UN. Trump himself is the board's chairman.
Oh, that's the plan. The plan is to replace the UN. They have said as much, guys. There's some things that the UN has said. Again, I haven't had time to get to that video. I'm still trying to catch up right now. I was supposed to do more yesterday, but let me show you this. So Carolyn Levitt just put this out, and she's saying that every liberal who ever chanted Free Palestine should watch this video from the head of the National Committee for the Administration of Gaza, Dr. Ali Shah. Peace and prosperity in Gaza are underway thanks to President Trump. I'll just play like a quick second of it.
Distinguished leaders, colleagues, and friends, it is an honor to be here today. I want to start by thanking President Donald J. Trump and his administration for their intensive efforts to advance peace in.
And just to take a quick detour. So this is interesting. It's been supported by Gaza. I'm going to show you something else. Putin is actually meeting with someone today that it's very interesting. But just a detour, it says breaking the United States withdrawals from the World Health Organization today after 1 year after President Trump's historic executive order from the Oval Office. After 77 years, the USA is no longer a WHO member. So this was when President Trump, if you remember, signed that executive order. So we are no longer part of WHO. WHO is a failed organization. I mean, we know all of these globalist organizations are. I wish we were not be a part of the WEF because that is way more concerning. That is way more concerning with the things I've shown you. We're enacting their plan, the digital ID. All of that is coming. All of that is here. And it's all rolling out simultaneously around the world in Western countries, all while new freedom of speech laws are being legislated and, well, they're being enacted in other countries, as well as verification to just use the internet. You need a digital ID. They are to keep kids safe. Those are being legislated right now in Congress. No one's paying attention to it. They are repealing Section 230, meaning that a website, any social media platform now becomes a publisher, and that they will be held personally and financially responsible for the content that's on there. Do you know how much censorship is about to hit? And that is not even included all the other bills that are going on. And then to even use the internet, you are going to have a digital ID in order to even log on. These are, guys, there's nearly 20 of them. So if one doesn't pass, the other one will. Like, we've gone over that several times. I'm hoping people pay attention before it's too late, but I don't think anyone will. But let me show you this. Before I continue with the Board of Peace, I want to show you something. I had this up here. This is interesting. It says right now, Vladimir Putin is meeting with Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas in the Kremlin. And notably, this is happening at exactly the same time Trump is launching his new Board of Peace in Davos. So it was interesting that they don't have him as part of it or that other guy part of it. They are, the other guy endorsed it. I'm not sure where he stands with it, but Putin is joining the Board of Peace as well. He said he's contributing $1 billion. He wants to be part of it. But then I also found today that he said that there is no board unless Gazans have full, complete rights. Like they are, I have to get it, find a better translation because it was very difficult with the translation, but I want to watch this. I want to see if Putin goes through with being on the Board of Peace or if he's going to walk it back, because there's some things he said today that it was interesting. That could signal a rift very early. But then here, President Zelensky calls on world leaders to act now to create a new world order. Guys, this is probably the 5th time within a week we are hearing new world order. We are hearing that over and over. Mark Carney said it. We've heard it. There was I forget his name. He was on the news and he was saying it. Just over and over hearing it. And now we're hearing Zelensky saying this at the World Economic Forum, the Davos conference.
But where is the line of leaders who are ready to act? Act now, on land, in the air, at the sea, to build a new global order. You can't build a new world order out of words. Only actions create real order. But where is the line of...
All right, so let's look at what President Trump had to say. And I told you there's something I want to get to, because I got to tie this in for you.
We have 59 countries that are involved in peace in the Middle East. Many of them not in the Middle East. They're near the Middle East, but they're not in the Middle East. And many have said that if Hamas doesn't do what they promised they would do, and I think they probably will, but they were born with rifles in their hands, literally born. At first they had a rifle put into their hands, but they have to give up their weapons. And if they don't do that, it's going to be the end of them. We have 59 countries that are...
All right, now I want to show you the countries that are involved, because keep in mind, all right, there's an executive board of peace, all right? So there's Marco Rubio, Jared Kushner, President Trump. There's a list of people that's on the executive board. Then there is a board of Gaza, like for the reconstruction of Gaza, right? And then there are member nations, members who are part of the board of peace. I don't know where the Pope is going to fit on this. I don't see him being a member contributing $1 billion. I'm wondering if he is going to be one of the 10 kings, one of the people that ends up being on the executive board to fill that out. But these are the countries. Wait, when was it supposed to? Yeah. Bahrain, Morocco, Argentina, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Bulgaria, Hungary, Indonesia, Jordan, Kazakhstan. Oh, have you guys ever seen the city, the New World City in Kazakhstan? I've played it before. I won't do it on this video, but it's shocking, like shocking. And you have to see it. A lot of people are not paying attention to that. But if I were to show it to you, it would probably make your heart fall out, okay? Kosovo, Pakistan, Paraguay, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, United Arab Emirates, Uzbekistan, Mongolia. Now, what's interesting, Russia is not on here. I guess these are the people who are at the signing. Sorry, those are the people who were at the signing today. I am trying to find a full list of every country that's joined, because it's more than this, because Russia has agreed to this. We know Israel has agreed to this. Benjamin Netanyahu has accepted. And there's several other people. So again, I'm working on putting this whole framework together so everyone can kind of understand what is going to be happening. Now, this is, I'm going to play, this is Jared Kushner talking about this. Now, I want you to keep in mind, the key that we are hearing over and over and over this entire year has been peace and security. That can also translate to peace and safety. It is to the point where it is in the documentation, it is in the charter, it's on placards, it's on signs. Peace has been everywhere. Trump received the Peace Award from FIFA. They're calling him the president of peace. Some have called him the Prince of Peace, like Jesus is the Prince of Peace. They're saying that Trump is that he is going to usher in peace, peace and security, peace and security. Where do we see that phrase, right? And in fact, I'm not going to play this with Jared Kushner because it's kind of long and it gets into details about Gaza, about what they plan to do there. But understand, this board expands. This is not just about Gaza. They are going to be essentially making decisions for the entire world. And really, it's the executive board that is going to be making the decisions, not the member countries. The executive board is really going to be where all of the decisions are going to be made. And it's all falling under President Trump, is the president of peace. But take a look at.
Hey, now, here's the weird thing. The new Gaza, I was looking at the whole lineup, right? That's the Venus Project. They said they could do all this in 2 years. How are you going to do all that in 2 years?
The Venus Project is, I can't think of that guy's name, but that was in Zeitgeist Addendum, wasn't it?
Yes.
It was like the whole second part of the film. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right there.
Man, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. What was his name? I'll try and find that.
Yeah, I can find it for later too. We can talk about it
Really
later.
Thessalonians 5. All right. So depending on the type of Bible, the translation of the Bible, this will say either peace and safety or peace and security. This is the NIV. It says, now, brothers and sisters, remember, this is talking about the end times. It is talking about Jesus Christ returning. It is talking about tribulation. Now, brothers and sisters, about times and dates, we do not need to write to you, for you know very well that the day of the Lord will come like a thief in the night. In fact, he is quoting Jesus Christ with that. While people are saying peace and safety, destruction will come on them suddenly as labor pains on a pregnant woman, and they will not escape. And in fact, let me do this. Just so there's no confusion, I want to read this again. But this is going to be the English Standard Version. Now, concerning the times and the season, brothers, you have no need to have anything written to you, for you yourselves are fully aware that the day of the Lord will come like a thief in the night. While people are saying there is peace and security, then sudden destruction will come upon them as labor pains come upon a pregnant woman, and they will not escape. This is talking about Jesus Christ returning while they are talking about peace and security. Guys, this board of peace not only mimics the 10 kings, we got to break it down and sort out everyone who's a member. We got to sort out the executive board. We've got to go through all of that. But understand that executive board is supposed to be 10 members, right? Right now, there are 7. That does not include President Trump, who's the chairman, who's over the entire board. But then there's also going to be 7 kings because 3 are going to get plucked out, okay? That's the whole thing into prophecy, which I'm going to show you something right now. Now, this is, I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere. I just could not find it, but I did pull it off of TikTok. I've blown it up so you guys can see it better. But let's walk through this. Now, this can get kind of long. So there's a part 1 and part 2, but I just want to play a little bit of it so you can start to understand.
Trump's Board of Peace reveal is coming soon. Kings without kingdoms? This isn't a peace plan anymore. It's starting to look like a governing model. And that distinction changes everything. On January 16th, the White House announced something called the Board of Peace, and the composition stopped me cold. World Bank presidents, private equity billionaires, figures who don't represent nations in the traditional sense. They represent institutions, economic power, influence without borders. There are critical pieces to what was just revealed. The first few will reframe how you understand modern diplomacy. But the last, a phrase in Revelation 17 about rulers who receive power without kingdoms, that's the one that makes this board look less like politics and more like prophecy. The 10 kings of Revelation don't need crowns. They need coordination. Number 1, what the Board of Peace is. Let me break this down in simple terms, because the way it's been reported can be confusing. The Board of Peace is not a peace treaty. It's not a diplomatic statement. It's not a temporary negotiating committee that will dissolve once a ceasefire holds. What was announced is a governing oversight structure, an international body designed to manage, coordinate, and enforce the implementation of peace. That word, enforce, is significant. It implies authority, real authority, the kind of authority that Revelation describes being concentrated in the hands of end-times rulers. And here's what's prophetically significant about enforcement. It doesn't require invasion. It requires cooperation. It requires voluntary compliance. It requires exactly the kind of framework we're watching being built. Hold on to that thought. We'll come back to it. Its first mission is Gaza, specifically Phase 2 of Trump's 20-point plan to end the Gaza conflict. This phase involves stabilization.
You know what? This entire thing is about 30 minutes. I think what I want to do is on my next video, I'm going to play both parts of this whole thing, but that's just to give you an idea of what we're going here. Listen, I'm not saying, I don't know who is the Antichrist. I don't know, who's going to come along. Guys, I cannot predict the future. What I want you to pay attention to is the times that we are in. We are in unprecedented times. I know people have said this before. Jesus is coming. The Lord is coming. He's coming soon. No. Nothing has specifically carried out prophecy the way things are right now. We are seeing the birth pains of the earth, unprecedented earthquakes, volcanic activity. There are albino animals showing up. Like I've told you about the signs and wonders in the sky, the orbs. Thousands of people are seeing these things. and it specifically, Jesus tells us to look at what is going on earth. Okay, this comes from Luke 21. All the things we should look for: war, rumors of war, just the things changing on the earth, like the seismic activity. There was 3-eye atlas, which is still around. They just aren't reporting on it anymore. The sun is doing crazy things. Now suddenly they're going back to the moon. You're seeing along with that just a number of things that make no sense. Even the weather. What's about to come this weekend, we haven't seen. There was flooding all on the West Coast, up in Washington. A lot of people, they weren't reporting on the news. In California, all of these different earthquakes. It is just around the world. We're seeing volcanoes that have not erupted in 12,000 years. Yellowstone's super volcano has unprecedented seismic activity right now. We're seeing what happened in Hawaii. The list goes on and on. Now, that is in conjunction with digital ID rolling out, where in every Western country, where we're seeing not only are you going to be required, Bill Gates says you have to have a digital ID in order to function in society by 2028. If you don't have one, you won't be able to function in society, right? And they want to tie this to your finances, your banking, your carbon emissions. That doesn't just mean your car, meaning how much food you are consuming. In the UK now, you can find packaging that says how much that package is an allotment for your daily carbon intake. They said that they only want you to have this size of meat in a week of red meat because they are bioengineering all of this meat now. And of course, Bill Gates is the one doing that. They already are contracted for this fake meat, fake butter in schools, prisons, hospitals, airlines, okay? And in restaurants where they don't have to disclose whether this is bioengineered meat or not. They've engineered mosquitoes and ticks that make you allergic to meat and people are dying from it. They want to get rid of all farms. They said by 2030, you will own nothing and be happy. Elon Musk and the CEO of Nokia both have said that phones will be gone by 2030 and that everything will have to go into the Neuralink, the implantable in your brain. Bill Gates has unveiled as well the mark of the beast technology. I guess I should use this hand, the right hand, where it's a patch. You leave it on for a few minutes and it inserts quantum dots under the skin as well as a QR code so that they can track you, that you can buy and sell with it. And so also your vaccine passport will be in there. So digital ID is on the phone now, but it will be moving towards that. Even RFK Jr. was saying that everyone will need to have a wearable by 2028. But it won't be a wearable, right? It is going to go into the body. So they're saying that there'll be no more jobs by 2030, that there'll be universal high income. We are seeing things we have never seen before. Oh, the third temple. They sacrifice a red heifer for the first time in 2,000 years. For the first time ever, Jews are going up to the Temple Mount where it is illegal for them not only to go up there, but they're praying up there. They lit a menorah up there. A Jewish man wrapped Teflon for the first time in history up there on the Temple Mount. They have the signs for the third temple. They have the Ark of the Covenant. They have all of the priestly robes. Everything is ready to go. They have prefab built the temple, the third temple. Okay. They have bought legislation. A congresswoman here in the U.S. has bought legislation for them to be able to build the third temple. I think part of with this board of peace, having a lot of Muslim nations, a lot of Muslim countries on there, that they are going to be able to get the green light to build the third temple. Are you seeing that? Trump is seen as Cyrus, which is ushering in the Jewish Messiah. He's also on the third temple coin. There's road signs. They have a monorail that they've built so that people can go up to the Temple Mount, to the third temple. They said it is time to build the Temple Institute, but it's already prefab built. It's already prefab built, guys. And they are walking around. I showed you the video that in Israel, as well as in New York, in Brooklyn, they have the same yellow as Messiah. It's a Messiah flag with a crown, and that means Messiah. And they are marching and running around and talking about how their Messiah is come. Their Messiah is here. It is time for their Messiah. They've never done any of this before. They also have made the call that all Jews need to return to Israel right now. So
they don't have a choice.
Before and all of none of this had happened. None of this has happened. Same thing. Like what's happening? What's going to happen with the currency? Guys, with the dollar, they want to tokenize everything you own. Legislation has been brought out to tokenize everything that you own. It's starting in California. This is why billionaires overnight fled California and moved to Texas and Florida. But this is going to be rolling out nationwide. I mean, they can tax everything that you own. I don't think people are getting this. That everything that you, it's a whole thing going into digital currency and how the tokenization, you have the head of the World Bank that's part of the Board of Peace. So we see these technocrat, they are saying that they envision a technocrat society like the map of Greenland, The one that Trump keeps posting, where it's Greenland and Canada and the United States, Venezuela, Mexico, all of that. That map is coming to pass. Well, what happened in Venezuela? The deal that's been struck up with for Greenland, that was predicted by Elon Musk's grandfather, right? But also George Orwell's 1984. Kingdoms are being established. Things are moving into place. Can I give you guarantees of what's going to happen? No, because we know governments are going to be working towards what the Lord has already laid out, whether they are aware of it or not. They're going to be working towards it. We don't know who is going to rise up and what's going to come out of it, but we do know that the main thing, just look up peace and security. Just look up how many times it is brought up over and over and over and over again this past year. And how that is like everywhere. Everything is about peace as well. Peace, 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 peace. When we know only Jesus can bring true peace on earth. So whether they know it or not, we don't know. I don't know. But we know that God moves these pieces around in order to get a final outcome because he is returning. So I want you to pay attention, and I will continue to talk about it. I will continue to talk about it. This is not the time just to casually take in news. You must take in all of it and understand and tie it to biblical prophecy. If you're not doing that, it'll just kind of look like movement. It'll just look like news. There's a lot of distractions that they're doing right now. A lot of psyops are happening right now. But also you are seeing unprecedented fraud being exposed. We are seeing more truth exposed than we ever have. And they're being brazen about it, open about it. Even things that people don't agree with the administration or not, whether even being Republican. It just seems like there's just things that you've never, ever seen. But this is all part of the plan, guys. All right. So I lose my mind a little bit every day because I'm just like, I cannot believe we are living through this time and all of it is connecting. It is all coming together. And I told you we were going to get Greenland. We're going to get the rest of the countries. It is going to look like that map. Right now, Alberta is voting. They have the signatures now and they're bringing to a vote to annex themselves from Canada and become part of the US. The pieces are moving. And you see everybody is getting on board with it, these world leaders. So guys, with that, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will see you very shortly.
Should we take a bit of a black pill there approach?
Yeah. But I mean, remember, there's a lot of people that don't follow what we follow, so
right.
It's gonna be a hot mess.
I'll just say a couple of things about that. Obviously, she's talking about how long have you got, Elisa?
I gotta go because I have to be back here for a client at 4:30, so it's cutting it close. But why don't you guys keep waffling on, and I'll get back on at 6.
Yeah, we only got a little bit to do anyway, and yeah, we'll see you in a couple of hours. I'll be on.
Hours. All right, guys.
I'll be on fuckery tonight for an hour. We'll maybe longer.
I will too.
Yeah,
bring your fuckery videos.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye, guys. See you guys soon.
Yeah, right. Couple of things about that. Oh, they've gone. Right. I'm in my own. I thought Joe was staying. That's all right. No sweats. Right. Couple little things about that. She's obviously talking about Kazakhstan there and how the elite were going to build their big city there, but this brings in Sacha Baron Cohen, doesn't it, and Borat, because there's a lot of people who are saying that the whole Borat thing was to make Kazakhstan look like a shithole when they were actually building their utopia there. Yeah, so that's really interesting. I've got an amazing video to show Jason later about Mahmoud Abbas, that Ghost of Based Patrick Henry made about Trump and Abbas sort of making these peace deals 2017, 2018. And yeah, so it's about a 6-minute video. So I shall bring that on to fuckery for later, I think. But I am going to play one video and I will probably play it again later on fuckery then. But or shall I save it? They've all left me. Shall I save it for later? No, I'm going to play it now, and I'm going to play it later as well. Because the people are waking up, and I think this is a really, really good video.
On my spiritual journey. I posted a bit on my spiritual journey as well, and you guys know I am a late waker upper. I must have hit snooze a few too many times because it's really been slowly since January 6th, but only really since November of 2024 that I've really started waking up. And so I'm late to the party. I'm behind the curve, and I have felt bad about that. I have felt bad that how did I not see so much for so long? But now I am so thankful that this was delayed me for this long, because I don't know how you guys have carried this for that many years. Those of you who have known these things forever, how did you walk this path so long, knowing the things that you know? It is overwhelming me to see and realize all the horrors at once. I don't know how you guys have done it for so long and held yourselves together, because, all right, the floor is open for advice. All of those of you who are have been around, your awakening has been, I need help. This is hard. Everything I believed crumbled. Everything. My faith in my faith in my religion, my faith in my country, my faith in my fellow man. It is all shaken to the core. And I'm sitting in the rubble trying to figure out, is there anything true? Is there anything to hold on to? And now I can't believe I couldn't see, because it is so plain. I can't believe I didn't see. I'm sorry that you guys had to carry it alone for so long. But I am thankful for the blessing that I have been spared this for all those years, because I don't know how you do it. The floor is open to suggestions, advice. Obviously, I don't know what I'm doing here, and I could use some mentors along the way. Go live with a neighbor.
Great video, that. Right, there we go. That's it. I'm going to slip into some evening attire, maybe. Get something to eat. Go and get a couple of beers for later on. And that's it. Thank you for everyone for being here. Superb show. See you all for fucker in a bit. I've got a little 3-minute military video for the end. I believe. I love you all. Where we go, when we go all. I'll see you in a few hours.
Falling too fast to prepare for this. Tripping in the world could be dangerous. Everybody circling as vultures. Negative, nepotist. Everybody waiting for the fall of man. Everybody praying for the end of times. Everybody hoping they could be the one. I was born to run, I was born for this. Whip, whip, run me like a racehorse. Pull me like a ripcord. Break me down and build me up. I wanna be the slip, slip. Word upon your lip, lip. Better that you rip, rip. Break me down and build me up. Whatever it takes. Old that I fear of being typical. Looking at my body feeling miserable, always hanging on to the visual. I wanna be invisible, looking at my years like a martyrdom. Everybody needs to be a part of them. Never be enough from the prodigal son. I was born to run, I was born for this. Whip, run me like a racehorse, pull me like a ripcord. Break me down and build me up. I wanna be the slip, word upon your lip. Rather that you rip, break me down and build me up. Whatever it takes, 'cause I love the adrenaline in my veins. I do whatever it takes, 'cause I love how it feels when I break the chain. Whatever it takes, yeah, take me to the top. I'm ready for whatever it takes, 'cause I love the adrenaline in my veins. I do what it takes, but critical, egotistical. Don't wanna be the parenthetical, hypothetical. Working on to something that I'm proud of. Out of the box and epoxy to the world and the vision we've lost. I'm in apostrophe. I'm just a symbol to remind you that there's more to see. I'm just a product of the system of catastrophe, and yet a masterpiece, and yet I'm half diseased. And when I am deceased, at least I go down to the grave and die happily, and leave the body and my soul to be a part of me. I do what it takes, whatever it takes, 'cause I love the adrenaline in my veins. I do whatever it takes, 'cause I love how it feels when I break the chain. Whatever it takes, yeah, take me to the top. I'm ready for whatever it takes, 'cause I love the adrenaline in my veins. I do what it takes.